People walk on, big up on yourself, you know. Yeah, man, bless up, you see it. Already late already, me can't even take a extra minute. Yeah, see it. Oh, that TG me there in the building where I deal with. Big up yourself, you know. From early out, you see it. Big up Summer. Matt Wagwan, big up greetings, my sister. Big up Mood Man said we. Miss Jalop better where I deal with. Yeah, man. Yeah, big up yourself, Jalop. Big up Godfrey Goldburn. Said speed, I see it. Yeah, man. Wagwan Dana, big up yourself, you know, Dana. Ever blessing at the building, big up. Who that? His addiction, big up yourself, you know, his addiction. Yeah, man. Is that over there again? Okay. Yeah, ever blessed. Big up yourself, you know. We are now kings in our building. Success over hype. Yeah, man. Big up on yourself, my people. I don't know how the thing go. Respect. Come YouTube, show about the notification, make us see what I go on. I want to in this place. Because later now, you know. Much away there, 50 other way. Make sure you leave a like, you know. So what I say? Yeah, man. Carry Mancho, where the village lawyer, them there we are wait. Well, I would have consider village lawyer, you know, because I swear everybody have an opinion on this thing. You know, some are saying for free and some are saying for stay away there. You see it, and that have nothing to do with the court proceedings. So I guess I all away would have fall in another category there. But big up yourself, Anthony, where are you with? Respect Mario. Watch local list, where are you with? Big up Free Thinker, Ken C in the building, Michael Williams. Say, yo, bless up everyone. Please like and share. Yeah, man. You don't know how the thing go. Like and share up my people. See it? Yeah, man. As a matter of fact, you're supposed to do the same thing too. Let me swing this in a couple places while people go and do the right thing as well. You say about. I don't know, I'm kind of busy, so I couldn't get for proceed for my regular time. But for the next 3 days, I think I can deal with my thing on the right timing still. We are deal with him, Big up yourself, you know. Yeah, man. Alright, man. Post this here, so. Wagwan, Miss Donna, big up yourself, you know. Yeah, man. I don't know anything look to you so far, Miss Donna, if you have to follow up the proceedings. A long time you're supposed to wait, you know. You know? So I don't know anything look. Yeah, big up yourself. You text in the building, text as a forward, you just, you know, do the right thing, you know. Don't itch up, you know. You see it? I remember post this, yes, and that's supposed to be it. Yeah, man. Alright, so that. So yeah, my people. We are dealing with Hannibal. Big up yourself, you know. So when you say the proceedings look, you know. Wagwan. The thing look fair to no based on Wagwan so far. You know? Which way it look like it has swing to no? That me there. That me there have a find out tonight, you know. You see it. Based on because everybody's supposed to see, you know, Wagwan so far. You know this thing. Big up yourself, Donna Thompson. What you say? You're there. Your nerves are killer. But also watch what go on, man. You know, the thing look like it can't go in anywhere at this point in time. I see it. Yeah, man, I see where there is no surety if you say, boy, you know, it go yes or go this. So I guess that is a good look so far. You know, it kind of look neutral to me. You know, I don't know if other ones are look more in depth and I see this or I see that and so forth. But you know, I think today a couple things go on. You know, I I don't really think today did hot like yesterday still, but you know, a few pointers point out so far and whatever, you know. But you don't know how the thing go. Yeah, man. Big up Jalo. Yeah, respect for your membership, you know, thing there. People them with big up for your membership is addiction. The people them with have membership on that channel, yeah. And you know, for whatever reason, for when you think they go on it, the membership lose. And they can't up back the membership, you see it. Yeah, man. So give thanks to your membership is addiction. You see it. Big up Jalo better ever govern everything, you know. So let me see what I go on there. So what I go on summer? Summer how the thing look. I just stop me there because as me say, me not like them type of starter, you know, me like my regular starter, but I don't know we have a check in with the people them said spin. Sir P get hot in court, my God. Well, I say it go, you know, according to Sean Storm's lawyer, you know, people like Sir P and all of the ones them can sway public opinion. That a for them thing. However, you know, Sir P, I said this is a big promotion for him platform, you know, based on the last update when we get to see it. You know, so he must say in his view, him appreciate the promotion because him couldn't pay for that, but he get it free, you know. He get the free acknowledgement from mainstream media, and him see it as a tactical error by, you know, Sean Storm's attorney. That I wait me hear him say. So I don't know all the things still, you know. Yeah, man. Day 2. No man, remember say me kinda do my thing different for everybody, you know. That I see it. Yeah, man. Better come out here to play a court role and them thing. Them just, you know, just point out what me see a go on in the media, and if me have an opinion, give an opinion. Me not really think every man run them platform to how them see it fit still. You see it, and I really my style that, you know, that if do my thing that way there, you see it. Yeah, man. So I say thing go. Respect to all I blogger them and how them do them things still, but everybody have to do them thing different, you know. I don't really think if one man do them thing a particular way and you a follow do the same thing the same way, it needed. You see, now man, I don't think I go up on that list there. Right? Because remember, say me not really out here I sway nobody, you know. Me just, you know, me like and if me see a man talk foolishness, when me know say a blatant foolishness, we say no, we can't really support that still. But in terms of I try to program people. No, sir. And I really might think that we are dealing with him out there.
Yo, there, you know, big up to the ones and ones. I mean, I chat as always in the manners and respect, you know, you see it.
Yeah, one, me there, just I say me make a quick pass through, you know, till me can blend in normal. But that's how thing go, you know. But like, in terms of like the whole wrapping up of the day and so forth, me don't know how the day look if you see no farmer shift to no side or nothing. Or just like a neutral, smooth run.
Well, you know, say it kind of smooth sailing right now, but the defense made an argument where I think it's a valid argument in terms of the appeal process. The man never say, well, from what, like 2013 there and about to 2014, right? Yeah, the whole appeal process, like they must say, over 10 years. You get me? I said the whole appeal process took. I think that's a valid argument still, because from the man they get them conviction and the people them appeal at 10 years after here we are.
But real man, you know, say me just say, yo, I'm not here for a real man from the other day. Come on, hear your perspective on thing, you know. Big up yourself, Miss Perfectly Imperfect.
Big up Miss Perfectly Imperfect, you know. Big up Dana Thompson, all the ones and ones. I know some and respect. My attribute, big up.
Yeah, man. So another little thing when me see like one of the judge them did I say, yo, the Privy Council dealt with the freedom part of the thing quickly, but I think I quote off appeal in a Jamaica, they must say, boy, it took a little time and it kind of rub the judge the wrong way. Them and say them not like the comparison and so forth. I don't know if you see that part of that thing there.
Yeah, I saw that part. And as me I said, that was part of the argument where the defense was arguing, say, boy, the appeal process was so long. And by virtue of that, where them say is like, you know, that tramples on, you know, their right to, you know, say justice delayed, justice denied kind of settings. You see it?
Yeah, but me I say the judge get cross for the argument, but me I say was the defense line though.
No, Rick, I think it's a valid argument when it comes down to the whole appeal process, because I guess we can all agree whether we don't have to like nobody. You get what I say? Yeah. It's not a likability thing. We are talking about the reality of things.
Yeah, because I think it was a fair argument.
At 10 years, the man them appeal this thing, brother. 10 years. So me feel say is a valid argument that still for the defense put forward. You get what I say?
Yes, you know, probably. I think, you know, probably the judge I try everything there. Yo, oh God, what kind of argument is Skeptic? Come on, Skeptic.
Make Skeptic go and throw him shit, man. We're good, man. We're good, man. You know anything?
No, man. This can't slide, man. Well, Skeptic call in and explain to it, yo, he must have fake it, brother.
Big up Skeptic, man. You know anything, man. I'm gonna walk with my feelings with the Justice League. Nobody on YouTube. No YouTube like I can't program me if you like nobody or hate nobody. I mean, mine on my own. So at the end of the day, man, as I respect, we don't have to agree. Skeptic. You get what I say? Yeah, man. The difference between me and you, Skeptic. Yeah, you kind of allow YouTube bloggers to program on for 8 people. Yeah, I mean, depend on that. You get what I say? That's the difference still. But
I want to come on. Hold on, man. I want to see him doing thing. I'm not trying to be on program box or not. That doesn't true. I want to see him doing thing for him forward by him. I don't see no changes in it.
No, you know? Man. What's this week? From
let me ask. What is the 2 strict? I don't understand. I want we see him doing thing. See him like I want we do my thing for my forward by him. We not change how me do my thing, brother. So we don't know. We don't understand.
Skeptic, Carlin Skeptic, man.
Yeah.
Me no want yash.
I'm put it on the screen. Wait.
Yeah, right.
Carlin, man.
Skeptic a shade me, man, because you know I think going a Skeptic as somebody where like it's like if you don't agree with him, yeah, man, I'm gonna just throw the shades on him something there. But we're good Skeptic, man. We have tough skin out here, man. Remember, said us we used to these things in a Skeptic. Remember, say before we touch out on YouTube streets, yeah, man, you have one bag of people that try eat and style. So, yeah, man, those things don't phase with Skeptic, man. Big up yourself, man. You know it go. I respect same way. We don't have to agree. All right, that's something there. You see it?
Yeah, man. But where are you with the real man? Because if I were there, I say wait a long time. I don't hear from real man.
You know, like the great Ted say. You know, I'm nothing to say. Just sit out that one there.
Yeah, same way, sir, bro. Same way, sir.
You what happened now? You what happened? It's not like me I go talk bias, but like how Ted said, Justice League. Well, you can put me in the Justice League part of situation, right? So sometimes now me I go just sit down and listen when me say I respect, because there's no other platform on YouTube when me go up on. No, can never hear my voice on the next platform, because me not follow people platform like that. No, in regards of Ted, I tell you straight. Say no matter what we think, no matter how we proceed, no matter how we carry on, the judgment is going to be the judgment. So if you know who of us that, then me don't know what to tell you now. Because it's simple. You understand? The judgment is going to be judgment. Whether I'm win or I'm lose, it's going to be the judgment. So in the meantime, you can point out a few things where I say, like I say, this is a case study then. It's a case study. You know what I mean?
Right.
To point out certain things that need to change in our system. Because remember saying, and not just Vybz Kartel alone that jail and the accuser of them. You have other people in there same way would have liked the same, justice. In other sense, wherever we call justice. But for some me I go keep for Vybz Kartel and the accused. No, I'm not. Now do it. Because the fact still remain that. I believe in this. But I even believe. I know this. Rick, if me a brethren or me, I am a brethren or me and my brethren when me not hear from, me not talk to him long time. Same way too. We're dead as now. Yeah. You see, Hannibal. You see, anyone who know go commit a crime on me and a friend if you say wanna kill people where me know when me go against 100%, then me I'm not saying Vybz Kartel, guys. But I'm just saying, if you know, if your name a call up and murdering so much, I may have it bridging, then me go cut you off because that not align with what me I deal with. You understand what I mean? So when they hold on upon you, you have to face the consequence. I just me see it. I mean, I go around and come around because me I go say me I know, but me I go tell you what me know. Jamaica is a different type of place. So no matter some things that we try to play it down and make it look good. Yes, it might take me get it. Make justice take it course. But because me know step on the ground is not a normal place when it comes to certain things. So you see people who involved and it's out there, and you have people who lose loved one during certain situations and it's out there, and then you would get some people are kept for them because them are done, because them are entertainer, because you know how we are as Jamaicans. It's like it's like we hold our entertainer them to the highest level, no matter what them do, we still now give them the wrong. The politician the same way. You understand? So my tune never really change. My tune never really change.
Right, so let me say a quick thing there, Rick.
Yeah, go ahead.
The real man. Big up to Anthony Summers, man. Let me tell you something, General. If more try control people, yeah, man, me just turn on my live and me lecture people. It's easy. That's very easy for me to do. Me can lecture people for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah, man.
Alone stay up here. I'm just a lecture. That's how you control people. Remember, Sir Ricstorm and all me, right?
Yeah.
We create a platform and we create an environment where anybody can call in. That's the key, you know. So it's not like we say, yo, it's only certain man can call in, or you have to say one thing to can call in. No. You get what I say? So that's how we do it. And my position is sometimes is that, you know, even at the whole Vybz Kartel thing, right?
Yeah.
People are gonna take them side based on their preference for the artist. But when me look on this, me ask myself, why should I get emotionally invested or emotionally attached? Right? And I think that's the most difficult thing for a lot of people as well on the YouTube space. It's like them have to be a part of something in terms of if them say some people are support something, it's like them have to take the opposing side, or based on whatever vlogger them subscribe to. If the vlogger say, yo, fight against the man there, I saw them do it. Them don't understand, well, on, why am I even doing this? Why am I hating on this person? Because somebody tell me to do it. So me kind of insulate myself emotionally from these things. So at the end of the day, and everybody are gonna agree with me still. I just
but sometimes
but in terms of but because me not understand even when Anthony Summers say, but hold on there. Big up TG Media, you know. And big up Exit 9X for the thing there. Money Pro, big up yourself in a long time. I never hear from Money Pro. I don't know what people in hear from in a while, you know, but we don't know the thing. But when I say still emo them, I say the man done outline how in platform running, and it's just simple, brother. You know, we all reasoning. A man just checking our reason, sharing perspective. But as the host, brother, you can't just allow an argument for run while and we up here sound like a bunch of mad people. People are play it back and things say, you know, are just a bunch of dunce a reason. So if a man a reason and a reasoning off, it up to the man where moderate the thing to make sure say the thing steer without even a programming thing, the thing steer in the correct way. Right. And me realize enough man don't love that because enough man just want to just come tell you what they might tell you. And some of the time a man tell you a thing, brother, it just don't make no sense. You see?
As well as Rick, where let me show you something like I say again, like me listen to the whole of Imitate Life today. Whole day me I work and me I listening and my reason with a youth. Now you have some youth, like I said, if you are educated in something where you have better understanding, right? Because me realize how law work. You can wrong and get right. You can right and get wrong. You know, it's just how you present a case in front of a judge or a jury panel. You understand how you represent it? My grandmother always say you can't right and wrong, you know. You understand? We get it. We see everything we're going out there, you know. There's nobody for 2.8 to 3 million people in Jamaica. I not think nobody, I say everybody, because you still have people down in Jamaica where they even listen or no gossip, no nothing. When the good as no same way, good as can find them. But in the younger people like our age and our age group, mother say mostly, most of your age group know everything. I'm going to tell you the reason why I say that. I have a nephew, and I have a son, and I ask them about the Vybz Kartel thing. You know, the man them say, Daddy, I'm younger, I have business with that. I don't even care, I don't know nothing where I go on with that. So I find say some people, especially younger people, some of them don't care about that. That are not for them goal.
Brother, you have remember, you know. Man have them who had problems and stuff what I got through on a deal, you know. It's just that, you know, we depend on the internet and once, you know, subscribe to like certain things on YouTube and stuff what man a fan of this and man a fan of that and you know, but for the regular people, brother, I not expect to go in the street and you know, everybody have this thing on them head top of bus them head and ready, brother. You go have some man where tell you say, yo, you know, this and that, all right, you know, brother. You see what I say? We are here, we are going, and we are look what going still, but me can't take it up on me head and broke minute, bro. You see? Yeah, man. Yeah. So, me understand where you them are saying, you see? But Hannibal there, I don't know if you want to see
that. That's Hannibal, what go on you long time, you know, you're good.
Look like him think they mute. You know?
Yeah, man. So, Imhotep, more say this Imhotep real quick to still. Now, in all fairness, me could... if like I said, if I was thin skin, I never understand people or people talk or the direction where I go.
Yeah.
The myself for that thing say boy, you're biased in that sense there. But if a man listen to your reasoning with understanding, you know, and just have the levels of understanding towards certain things, then the mother know say, well, you are dealing with in foolishness. None at all. Whether in the chat, you monitor your chat, you know. You monitor the chat, so nobody can go on with nobody in the chat either, and you don't see it. You know, so you get that.
So, so Anthony, be honest with yourself, brother. You would have want 2 channel of the same exact thing there, and not twin channel, brother. Imhotep and Rick. What you can't expect the 2 if you do with thing the same exact way, brother. So
right.
You see, you have to be honest, bro. You have to know if you know about Imhotep. Yeah, probably in terms of like we deal with the thing respectful and so forth. There are similarities in that, but you can't expect the 2 channels to be the same. Come on, man.
Right. Yeah, man. Everybody kind of unique still, but ones and ones have also know. So here we go now. Not because you say A, that means it have to be A. You know, we reason it out, and if it's not A, it's not A. But not because you're still stuck on A, that means you got in your feelings. Or if we did a reason about A, and you want to steer a reasoning down at one part because a B you want to talk about, and we are say, make we steer A and reason that out. I mean, you can't get in your feelings. You get what I say? I don't think so the ones and ones really feel weird. But at the end of the day, it's a tough environment as well. YouTube streets a tough environment. And everybody build feet as well. And we just they have to share different perspectives. That is all me pride myself in. Difference of opinion, different arguments, and that's it.
And it's simple, you know, brother. Remember, you have look, you know, Anthony. You remember say, you know, if you check like Imhotep thing from earlier, the man outline how he might do him thing. So this is the reason why I understand why the man it look like there is some form of shift or there is some form of change. Unless you know, see the man outline this is all my platform I run from day one, brother. So we don't know what
50 from 50 people per Imhotep, you know. And that he must say, you know, from 50 people all the way up, you know. And that he must say, and he not change it. Like I said to you.
The general skeptic, yeah. Big up yourself, Sniper King, you know, respect me.
Easy skeptic, me done.
Yes, so
yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
Justice.
You see how place of fire
I have to get it. You understand me? He has to get it. You notice I make sure to do it while he's on the platform. So it has nothing to do with any dodging. You're right?
Yeah. So, I don't know if you want to explain why you feel like you have a flame Imhotep as a live start?
No, well, Imhotep know why. He like to cut people off and then tell them about the choreo.
No, well, but skeptic, remember saying, the last time we engaged, we did a talk about A, and you want to carry it, go down on alien.
No, if you notice,
well, I'm not skeptic, man. Well, I know. Me, I said the last engagement we had, right? And I know you might have been disgruntled about that. We were speaking about one particular topic, and you wanted to go in an alien reason, and we said, boy, make we keep it right, yes or no? And that
no.
Disagreement still, but go ahead.
No. It was. You see, what you have to understand is my perception is completely different from yours. The things that you want to focus on mainly, like you always say you don't like to major in the minor, but the thing is, it's really minor of most of the stuff. It's just that you don't know how minor it is, right? But what the point that I wanted to preface in telling you all, like I always generally tell you all, I don't care about politics, but I understand why you all want to major into this whole political upheaval and want to divide the people on both sides. It's as what human beings need to understand, the politics is just a minor issue. That they're misguiding human beings and setting them up against each other to prevent them from seeing the Operation Warp Speed
Skeptic.
and all the Event 201 and the various other different
Skeptic.
stuff.
Skeptic.
Right?
They are Tuesday.
Skeptic. Well, Hannibal. So me I say, you not just look at it. Me think you overthink with the whole thing though, because how the platform them run is like, most of the time are just nightly topics. So whatever present itself during that time at that one's a reason upon. Me not, unless the platform change into a full political platform, which me not really aware of still.
No. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Rickstorm. Listen, you're right. And it's his platform, you understand me? But people must understand is I was actually about to give my take on the political issue, but I had to preface it to tell you all that I don't care about politics. That's the way I view it, right? Because I have to let people understand that politics is just a divide and conquer mechanism, and I have to really steer people into what it is that is coming and everything, and they're using the political division because they want to hide people from the truth as to what it is. That's all I'm saying. You understand me? So it's really not to it's really not to be disrespectful, and it's really not to. I'm just messing around with the method.
Man. But when I say still, like how you're there, we don't know why your perspective on the recent topics we're presenting at the night, yeah, because you don't know you're part of one of the league, we play a key role in this thing, so I don't know why your view or why your outlook based on the 2 days where gone,
Well, Rick, I'm not a part of any league. I like I say, I have an opinion. I don't affiliate myself with any group. I don't even do religion or none of those stuff. Right? I'm a free thinker. That's why.
Come on, Skeptic.
Yeah. I'm a free thinker. That's why I'm called a skeptic. I've always been a skeptic.
You say I'm a Justice League?
No, you're putting me into a group. I've never.
What about the Galactic Federation, Skeptic? You're not part of the Galactic Federation.
What I Earth reasoning, man.
Galactic Federation is completely different. But listen, Vybz Kartel has his own Akashic record that he needs to understand about, and he has to give account for his own Akashic record. But I've always been telling you all that I don't care whether he get out or not. He's behind bar, and he's definitely trying everything to get out. You understand me? And I can't knock him for that. I wish him all the best, but you know, if he do the crime, he should do the punishment, as I've always tell you guys.
So quick question, let me ask you. So true Rick and Imitate and Skeptic and my next virgin, Kenan. No,
Hannibal, yeah.
Hannibal. Me can't remember the animal, but so now tell me, say true, me a Justice League now, and I go burn me out.
No, come on, real man. Don't do that.
They are
You never hold on, Imhotep. No man where all right. I mean never hear no man when you hear me say even Justice League, I just troll me at troll still. But
yeah, we do.
Never come out here actively burning out no man how them subscribe to brother.
Man a part and nothing brother.
But Rick, this is what Justice League thing. Remember say I me kind it pandem
like that. You started.
I me say Justice League, you know. You know what
Imitate. I blame Imitate for using something positive to make it perceive as something negative. I blame Imitate for that.
No, I don't mean create the perception. Me just say Justice League and that's it.
Are you coming at Justice League thing there?
Yeah.
Yep.
But anyway, me not try to
just that Skeptic though, Rick. I'm being honest. Me not. If you do the crime, you do the time. I just hit that for me. In a business.
Yeah, which is right. If you do a crime and it can be proven in the court of law, so you do the crime. Of course, if you do the time, you know, there's no going around. But you know, in terms of like Vybz Kartel at this moment, because whether a man view it this way or that way is a matter where they're in front of the court. So the thing is, as what Imhotep said, we just try to keep the reasoning there so and see how it play out. You know, instead of a try if you out here go on like say me at the court of law and me a steer it yes and a steer it this and way while a different thing are going in this. So we want to like keep our reasoning with what we see are going so far. You know, if you get to me,
you see the imbalance. I'm not like with this still. I'm gonna tell you the pushback. If you come out and you disagree with people who is like say free world boss. If you disagree with any one of them on there, you are the worst human being walk on earth. And I just shoot me, I tell you, brother.
I get all death threat in the general.
Let me not tell you, man.
But wouldn't it, you said, wouldn't you look on it from even the other angle? Because I see ones where, you know, a man I say, yo, them would have want to see Kartel they road for whatever reason. A man just look on a man and I say because of that a man a criminal. You know, whatever. So I don't know. Probably I see him where a man can look on it from both sides. You know?
A man text this to me, say like, yo, if me buck you and put the castic emoji with the castic and they skull them.
Oh God.
So yeah, go about waste man them.
No,
all right, that is the reason why you're
no, me not really care about it. But as I tell you, you know, but as I tell you, say, yeah, you know why it is, but I joke, I laugh. We just report him page and me see, so we know say him page, look at him page and him page I want good
kind of real life, in a real life. No man see me. You think I'm not a fact. Like me say again, me just want to know say if a man doing crime in doing time and just know say one of them things that can hear what happen. And really and truly, me listen no, like me say, mother go off piggyback off of where my youth say last night. You come on this platform, right? And if you're willing to learn and want to know things, you will leave off of the learning things because there's so much brilliant mind here. You understand what I mean? Every man have a point, you know, but I want make sense.
Big up yourself, Baxadan. Well on it. Yeah, we're going Baxadan. As me said, through the channel is down for a while. I'll be a trouble, you know. So, you know, if you notice you're not getting a notification, just unsubscribe and then you subscribe back and click the notification bell and it will good. You see it? Yeah, man. That go for anybody where notice them not really get no notification. You see, but as me say, I understand what everybody are saying. I respect everybody's view on the whole thing, you know. You see what I say? But at the end of the day, you don't know. Yeah, always I got have people where I go depend where yo, if you not say what me I say, you know, you can't re this and that and whatever. And
But
for the man, we are sending threat, for the man, we are sending threat about this and that and that is the reason why, as me say, you know, me steadily believe say if a man do a crime and it can be proven that him do it, you know, you're liable to do your time. But you see, when things reach even certain man, me just look on it from say, yo, you know, a man do this and do that to a person or whatever. But me not go even come out and one like say more to talk about justice for this man or because you see some of them man, brother, them based on for them behavior and for them yes man style and way. While when them go around and have follow up man and not threaten people and certain thing for reach them to brother. But anyway, you know have to sound to grow some up here and whatever. But you see, but, no, I shoot, bro. You see, so yeah, me not reason from that thing they talk about big
Why Rick? Why Rick? You
no,
got darker. You got dark a while ago, Rick.
A dark man going on, man.
No, right? Because more time I look at me say, yo, me I say, yo. Then certain man when me say out there threat man for artists and this and that and right. You want to tell me say if things reach them, me supposed to come out here ball out me eyeball? No, brother. Look on it and say, boy, if a man do a crime and them find upon a crime, boy, I have got to deal with it, bro. You see, but in terms of like, for me come out and say, boy, Ray, no, brother, I want to hold on the mids and know, say, yo, you can't respect and rate the artist, them, but it's not serious where you want to go kill a man and sit over him opinion, brother.
Quick question, Rick. Is there a law we pass out there in one time where once you get told for murder, you know, them not let you go?
When?
No, like something that I read and I'm like, all right, so them hold you for murder, right? You know, no bail I get until you go in front of a judge, until you think the day. We then call it until you're there.
For court day?
Court day, yeah.
No, but
no,
you can't get
no
bail until you see the judge.
No, none that me mean, man. All right. You know, some man, you know, like, how much, you know me I say now, let me explain it now. You know, like, a lot of people got murder people and then go up and the judge give them bail for murder charge. You don't know if this happening, right?
Yeah, we have murder charge, a man get bail.
Yeah.
So that's what I say now. I think the other day, them I say, if you go in for a murder charge, them not giving you no bail, the bail gone.
But me not aware of that still. Me don't know. Probably if it's
the new bail act of November last year, right? 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So there are certain instances where you know you might be denied bail, but there's no absolute to it to say that once you're on a murder charge or a dirty charge, you get what me I say? Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
you won't be granted bail. There is a next argument as well that the new bail act presented, and as it relates to the habeas corpus that ICE had filed, that was revealed by the judge, right? That says that at the end of the day, if you have been convicted, right, and you go court and you appeal it, and they might quash a conviction, and it is still and the appeal and the matter is still pending where you still have to answer. Yeah, what they're saying is that you're not gonna get no bail.
Oh,
you understand?
Still
you're not
pending.
no bail, until the matter has been dealt with in the court.
Resolved,
so you can spend all 10 years in a prison in a real man and get your conviction quashed by the court. But if the court send back the matter to a next court and say deal with it, and you apply for bail, you're not going to get no bail.
Wow.
And so, the new bail act kind of have that in it now.
Wow.
Yeah, so you can't get no bail until the court.
Something like that, me that talk about him. Because I know me see it somewhere.
Right.
Me that read on something now what time, about a month ago, me see it there. Me see, wow. That's why me that ask a question if I true.
Right, but I mean, people are still eligible if you say, get bail for dirty, man. It's just that it's up to the court to decide that. You get what me I say, and the conditions of the bail. Because remember, in my general, you can get the bail under the conditions of your report 3 times a week, 4 times a week, take away your traveling documents and them track you all kind of something. So, I just this or that there. But there's nothing that says that once you get charged for dirting, yeah, you can't get no bail. No, we just know say if you appeal and it's still pending, yeah, man, you're not gonna get no bail in that context. Until you know, yeah, you got a court and deal with that matter there.
But I've already told you, I've already mentioned that he wouldn't have gotten bail on the basis that they did not grant him the appeal at first. I told you that under those circumstances, not because the case was quashed, that they just squash it on the basis of the corrupted juror. That's it. So they're going to hold him. They're not going to give him bail on the circumstances of the Privy Council quashing the case. They're still going to hold him based on the decision that already been made by the Jamaican appeal courts, right? So on those circumstances, I knew that he would not have gotten bail. That's why I said sorry in advance to the people that wanted him to be bailed. You know, it's not to be disrespectful to people. It's just to state the facts. You know, it's unfortunate, but he clearly have a case to answer to. And so they have to wait and see what transpired up until the 14th to see whether or not they're going to retry him or he's going to have to take a plea deal. And I hear the word acquittal be mentioned. There is not, people need to get that word out their vocabulary. It's not going to be any acquittal in this matter.
What do you mean by that, though, Skeptic?
Acquittal?
Right.
Acquittal mean insufficient evidence to charge
Well,
for the crime.
There are more than one aspects or natures of acquittal, though. In other words, you know, acquittal is just them throw out the case, right?
Yeah, but
the case got thrown out, and there are a number of factors that can lead to that. So it's not as if it's one reason. You get what I say? Just
no,
like
I don't think
insufficient evidence, throw it out.
No.
Hear this. Let me say this. Yeah, the state is not gonna throw away the case, and
Yes.
then left with a penalty to be paid to Kartel based on the time that he spent in prison. If they're gonna pay Kartel any.
So suppose, all right, just finish your answer, Hannibal.
It's like this. At this point, Kartel have the blade in his hand. The state have the handle. They're not gonna give him the handle and not take him back to trial based on just letting him go, just giving him some money for all the years he's been in prison. It's not gonna work.
Suppose at the end of the 4-day or 5-day deliberation, Vybz Kartel team argument stronger.
No, what?
Stronger than evidence.
I mean, that's wishful thinking. That's wishful thinking.
The state has the evidence, you know. The state has evidence to bring them back to court, you know. The Privy Council send them back to the Privy Council send them back to get a retrial because they claim they didn't get a retrial. They claim to get a trial because they claim they didn't get a free trial. So it's not like say it's not gonna be a case. It's not like it's not gonna be a trial.
Yeah, Rickstorm.
It's not gonna be a trial.
Rickstorm.
Yeah. Go to me. I hear him.
What you guys have to realize, if you guys pay attention very closely, this is why they're making so many different efforts. Efforts like using social media as proof that they won't get a fair trial, using illness. So they're basically creating different narrative as a way for them to be more lenient to them or for them to really drop the case. But I don't think
proceedings fit with everybody, man. Everybody now go use what available with to them.
Yeah, and they should. I mean, naturally, they're going to find different ways to try and wiggle themselves out of whatever. That's a natural procedure. But what I'm saying, every single circumstances that will call the word acquittal will just not happen in this case.
But that sound like you're talking in absolutes, though, Skeptic.
That me I say, you know, and
Well,
as me I say, yeah.
Well, so far I have not been wrong based on my assessment.
Come on, Skeptic. Yeah. We're there at the end of the road, you know, at this moment, and you have like several days. And based on when me see a go on, to me it just look neutral. You know, so me not really
Neutral. Okay.
in terms of like the reasoning in a court and so forth. You know, me understand what I'm saying now. Me not try to rule out and
Family, hey, Rick, look at it like this, eh? Look at it like this, eh? It's already born to go trial in my brethren. Kartel team just are trying not to make it go back retrial, you know.
No, well, now make that sound like a stranger. Them might do something when we not expect them to do. Me not understand.
No, I'm not saying that, you know. I'm not saying that, you know. What I'm saying, you know, what they're trying to prevent is not like say the prosecution has to put up no big fight for it not to proceed. It's already set in motion to proceed.
But
they're trying to stop it from proceeding.
On what basis you are saying it's bound to go to trial?
Because when the Privy Council them already say they didn't get a fair trial, the Privy Council sent it back because they didn't get a fair trial. The argument is them not getting a fair trial because the civil right was violated. So it's about a fair trial. So them send it back for him get a fair trial. No, them send it back for them get a fair trial. No, they don't want a trial. So that is the situation now.
But the thing is doing Hannibal, and me still wait to see the defense argue that Bahamas precedents not because the Privy Council send it back, it means that automatically, remember, you know, if that was the case according to what you are saying, Hannibal, you see when the appeal court got that response, right? They would have said retrial automatically. What they are doing is to hear arguments for or against, and guess what now? They can either rule for a retrial or they can throw it out. It's not a one-way street right now.
Okay.
And I remember, one second, Skeptic. Remember, say with the Bahamas precedents, the same thing occurred where the man was charged for 13 years, appealed to the Privy Council. One is appeal, they sent it back to Bahamas to the appeal court, and the appeal court decided they're not gonna proceed based on the public's interest. So it's not as if it's a one-way street, though. So I kind of try to understand why you would say it's inevitable. Because that you're trying to say it's inevitable.
And just to add another thing, if it's absolute and in a one direction, like how now pointed, why the judge would have want to see, like saying for certain things from the Supreme Court for the last 6 years to see how the whole proceedings are retrial go if it work in a certain time frame and so forth.
Yeah, that's a normal procedure especially when you have a case of this nature, such a high-profile case. They usually take various different case, back in the past to really find out if it matching law, potentially where they can actually find a loophole or find a clause where they can use sufficiently enough to really get him off. But it's just, I think that
me just ask that question based on how I say, it already channeled in a one way. So I say if it already channeled in a one way, they wouldn't need to look into all
so
they would have just know I just think we are do.
So yeah.
What they're doing in a rig. Go ahead, Hannibal. Sorry.
So the judge always favor the prosecution side most time, yeah. This part of the case where it's like at the preliminary of the case, it's like with based on the evidence where the prosecution have, the judge not gonna stop the case right now. The judge are gonna leave it up to a jury to make the decision. So therefore, there's no burden on him, the judge, or she, the judge.
So you find in the studio we're done so far. You find anywhere in it where you would have said the judge is currently biased towards the any side?
Judge not being biased. No, I'm not saying the judge being biased.
But the thing is, the judge, the judge has to display impartiality and deal with the law.
Bingo.
That's why justice have a scale. You understand me? I say it has to be fair and balanced. So a judge can't say them favor the prosecution, bro.
Family, listen. Hear this. The judge, the judge and the prosecutor is on the same team, my brother.
Cash regulate up your thing, bro. Cause it's feedback. Yeah, go show anyone.
The judge and the prosecution is on the same team. The judge, the prosecution, always get a lead way.
Everybody went in the system, including the lawyer and everybody would have on the same team, brother.
Yeah, and if that's the case, if that's the logic though, Hannibal, that means even the right to a fair trial would be a valid argument.
Exactly.
Hear this, yeah?
Yeah, you're right, Imate. What really happened?
Oh, sorry,
what really happened is if you notice what is being done, the judge and the prosecution know that the defense strongest position is going to be a fair trial. So if you notice, it's a give and take right now. If you notice what they did, they certainly did not bring his health factor into account, but yet still they recognize the potential of social media influence. So it's like they're giving and taking to give the impression of impartiality, which they have to do because they don't want it to appear that they're violating their rights. You understand me? So they're crossing all T's right now to make sure that the defense don't use the argument next time of an unfair trial, right? Because that is their only defense that they have at this point.
They can't do that.
But me I say based on my observation, Skeptic, based on what you are saying, that make it look like say the judge on some form of trick and craft and right. And based on my how me observe it, me see where the rulings where the judge make perfect sense, my general. You know, me not see where it come off as no crafty, this and I'm gonna say, all right, shut down the health part and include a party over here so to make it look like all of when me see rules so fast make sense, brother. So me not
well, yeah, that's your perception. But for me, when I see stuff, I see that they don't want to give them any loophole again, and they don't want to give them any gap to say, oh, you guys were being unfair because you guys did not do this and do that. So they're making it as fair as possible. But the way I see it, I think that they're heading for a retrial. That's how I see it is being lined up.
The health situation is gonna be introduced tomorrow.
Yeah, because that is what me see. Miss Lobby sure they think they are the other judge thing there. But the Constantine person, I am just speak or somebody else because so be they are but a Constantine person there for a while. So I don't know if you want to say a thing.
All right, good night, everybody. Point of panel. So more address the conversation that I just heard just now in perspective. So based on what I'm hearing, and this is going to the person that named Skeptic on the panel. So based on what I'm hearing is that, okay, the judge or Hannibal, I believe, said that the judge favors the prosecution more. So the judge favors the prosecution more. They want to go to a retrial, but in the same sense, they are perceiving that they're trying to give a fair hearing just so they don't give the defense the escape of saying a right to a fair trial. how is it still going to be a fair trial if that's what they're doing?
So
Because that's
listen,
a very
My
listen,
point
listen.
conversation.
Let me
Like
answer
none
the
of that
question.
makes sense.
Let me answer
Yeah.
the question, right?
I
Listen, let me
disagree
answer the
with
question.
that too as well.
Let me
Yeah, but
answer
got
the
you
question.
as well.
So
Yeah.
the evidence that the prosecutor present that the judge that the judge know about, the judge has to go with the prosecution side because there's evidence there. It's not like say the prosecutor now present no evidence. Even when the defense attorney don't have privy to the information that the prosecutor have, which the prosecutor have to share the information with the defense, but the judge know about it. So it's on the judge for it's on the judge for the law work the way or the law work for the 12 jury to acquit or sentence. So the judge have to make the case go ahead forward.
Sir,
Why are we
justice
talking about
doesn't have
jury and
any
them stuff when we're
side.
at the trial? Why we are talking about all of them something there? How jury even coming at this right now with the
Oh,
trial?
sir,
Yeah,
justice
because
does.
I think the man are yeah. I think the man are like
I'm
would
trying.
have
Listen,
raised.
up, Virgin. This is how jury
What
coming
on
at. This is,
animal?
let me explain. No, you let me answer the question.
What on? Me not denounce the fact that when this thing done, the prosecution may have stronger points and whatever, you know. But for you, I say, boy, this is what them have already. You would have paint a picture as if the judge already make up their mind and I say, yo, this is how the thing I go. Hands down, bro. And at the end of the day, me not think there is any proof to that at this moment, brother.
No, that's honorable perspective, but the judge
Family, the
has to
case.
have
Listen, the
an
general. Family,
impartial
the case. The
approach.
case.
The judge
Listen, the
cannot
general.
take any sides whatsoever.
That is
Listen,
my
the family.
argument.
The
The
judge
judge
has
cannot.
to
That's
take
what
the
we ask,
side of
bro.
the evidence, my brethren.
Justice doesn't have a side. Justice has the
The
evidence
judge
and the
has to look
facts.
at the evidence just like how the jury has to look at the evidence, and the judge cannot look at the evidence and knowing that there's credible evidence for them to
No, but we are saying,
What I miss the point, Hannibal, though, man, because
yeah, we
right,
are saying,
all are with them
So they
now.
have 12 people make the decision. But the
No,
judge
but
is
what
not
an
going to look at
animal,
the
but
evidence that the
we
prosecutor
when
is
you are saying,
presenting
we
and
are
then
saying
says
no,
no.
brother. What an animal. Remember, you are
The
saying
evidence is already there.
nah, hear it. Okay.
but yeah, it look like him now here. Me I say, me think you speed though. No one
Hey,
is
Rick.
denying that. Well, I know, man. No one is denying that there is no evidence or nobody can question that. What we are saying, based on how we frame the argument, we need to make it look like say the judge already make up their mind, said this is the way how it go. And based on where we see her going, that is not the case, brother. And if that was going on, it would mean say, boy, we can't have no faith in the justice system.
Thank you.
The prosecution. I saw
Yeah,
the narrative a paint.
so we
That,
can't do that, brother. That's how we are saying.
yeah, that's definitely proving the defense point of saying him can't get a fair trial because we basically make up our mind already and say the judge
Yeah,
make up their mind. Say that's what we're proving. We're proving the defense argument right now. We
and
need to
that
drop
General,
them thing there.
the fair trial is the jury, is left to the jury to decide. It's left to the jury to decide the outcome. That's why you
well, this
have
is not
12
a
juries.
Brother, this
trial,
is a
though. This is a
hearing, brother. This is
hearing.
a
This is
hearing,
not a
brother.
trial. I think you're confusing the two
General,
because this is not a trial. This is a hearing.
I know this is a hearing, homie.
Well,
So
why
why
you
you
keep
speak
on
of a
saying
So what
jury?
trial?
I'm saying, listen,
And why are
what
you
I'm
talking
saying to
about
you
a
is this,
jury?
right?
There's not 12 people
This
sitting
is why
here.
I'm talking about the jury, right? This is what I'm talking about the jury. The judge has to let the case move along. So therefore the burden is not on him being the messing what one of the case. He have to leave it up to 12 people. So the case, he have to proceed with the case based on the evidence what the prosecutor already present to them.
So you're saying the panel of judges has to proceed to a retrial and leave it up to a jury? Is that your argument right now?
Yes, that's my argument, yeah.
No, that is not a valid argument at all because they have the ability to overturn the case
Okay.
pretty much and say we're not doing a retrial.
Okay.
Hey,
So
we
you're
need to
leaning to
realize.
one side of the argument. You're not leading to a factual, the case with the hearing within itself. You're all the way at a trial that we don't even know if they're going to bring him back to another trial. We're speculating.
All right,
Okay.
let me just add a little piece to that. Okay, nobody is arguing that there are no evidence of any crime or anything. What what the hearing is about is to see if it makes sense to go to a retrial. Forget about all of the evidence and all of them things we don't talk about that. Does it make sense after 13, 14 years to go to a trial? That's what they're trying to figure out. Okay?
No, 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 no. I don't. No, I don't think. I don't think the year matter. They're not gonna rule on the
Brother,
years
brother,
served.
it's not
No,
only about the
they
years
cannot
served.
rule on the years
It's
served.
about the
Well,
entire
No.
it's not
thing,
the problem
Skeptic. Relax
with
now,
the man.
brother.
What on general?
God.
Calm down, man. Well, this is the problem with the ones them at night time. It's like the man may drive his speed, the reasoning. Bro, we they are there too in the whole thing, brother. However, it play out in the rest of the day, them fine. But me not think me think all of the reasoning where we are all like right now. We have enough time for all them reasoning that we man speculate this and speculate that.
Yeah.
The thing happen currently, brother. So I don't think we need no bag of speculation. But Subi there, you know, so I don't know if Subi wants to say a thing. So we hear what Subi are deal with.
Yeah, ja.
Yeah, bless up.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna try to figure out. I we not get no soundbite today. What's a soundbite for the day?
But I guess they're not really hot like thing there. I think the most touching thing there is the fact that, you know, I think let's see which one would I say are the most.
The judge tell him to use them time carefully.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
the argument from John Clark, where he must say that you know, the appeal process, you know, it's not a fair one because it's over 10 years and it drag out and one bag of something. Things say that are the buzz conversation still, you know. Well, so far, I watch and see where the media go put out because we have to depend them still.
But we hear that so many times before. I don't know. They've been saying that. They've said that at the Privy Council already. Don't it? So it's like yesterday, of course, we heard about the vlogger them. We heard about health and those type of things. So I expect a little more today from the defense, because when will the defense rest?
But I think them have some thing that because I hear a judge say tomorrow them.
The defense will rest tomorrow, and then the prosecutors have Thursday and Friday.
So the defense is going to be presenting tomorrow as well?
Yeah.
Yes, they will. John Clark will start, and then Isaac Buchanan have the afternoon.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Vegas, I don't think you'll get any more soundbite that you get in day one. I think day one is going to be the most soundbites that you're going to get. The appeal in not having the trial move forward.
Somebody was asking just now, I think it was a rhetorical question, why would they have a retrial after 13 years?
No, Subi, sorry about that. It's not only about the years, it's about the entire thing, okay? It's about the time with them spent. It's about them condition with them in. It's also about the prosecution. Can they find these witnesses and all this evidence, get things together? That's what they're trying to figure out. Does it make sense? What's it gonna cost the state? They're looking at the entire thing.
But you believe.
No.
Remember, hold on one second.
I know what I believe. I want to know, brother.
Hold on one second. You know, so the DPP, right, have the power to bring forward, to decide if they want to move forward, yes or no?
Yes, but me know the DPP can say, man, say we don't want to go forward and everything done. I know
All
that.
right, so knowing that, why would you think that they don't have enough?
No, I'm
evidence?
not saying they don't. I never said they don't. I'm saying it's the entire thing that they're looking at. Does it make sense?
They are the one who asked. They are the one who asked the Privy Council for a retrial. You know, if this is the last request they asked the Privy Council. If you are considering to release him, make for retrial. That's the last request the prosecutor asked for.
Me not think you understand that point. Not because them ask for that, it mean it's gonna happen. They have to consider all different factors. You
They already consider that, my brother.
Oh my God! All right, you know what? Me not know what to say tonight. Me done.
No, man, but you can't say them consider it already.
How exactly have they considered? Why are we having the hearing then if they've considered that?
Make a reason like say, you know,
Hannibal basically says a decoy.
So
Yeah, but
I'm
him
trying to
saying that
understand.
Subi, that's him saying that the system is not
Yeah.
fair and the man them now get a fair trial. That's what he's saying. And we
He's
there
making the
miss
No,
them
no,
as
the
the
argument for the
prosecute.
defense
I
Listen,
just
I
team.
didn't
want to
say.
see the
Listen,
justice
listen,
system work the proper way. That's all me want to see, you know. So me now go say the
General.
judge
Listen,
stay so
listen.
and the person they stay so.
You
Me
get
want
me,
to see the system
family.
work
You
because
get
you
me.
have other youth in a prison right now who are the 20 year and believe it or not, them innocent. You understand me? I say, so me need to see them do this thing the right way. So stop say judge make up mine on this and wanna stop them something them man.
I ain't never said anything about no judge. Just Brethren. We're talking about the prosecutor, right? I
When
said the
when
prosecutor. Listen, now, hold on. I said the prosecutor asked the Privy Council to retry Vybz Kartel if them not gonna go Vybz Kartel, right?
Earlier, Skeptic was saying the judge already made up the mind. Come
No,
on, man.
listen
I
up,
remember
family.
this, man.
Listen up,
Come on,
family.
man.
I
Listen up.
Come on.
I did not say the judge already make up their mind. What you have to
Me
this
rest.
is
Me
not
rest.
no listen. You have to understand. This decision is not about innocence. The only reason why we're here now is simply matters relating to the corrupt juror. That's it. No other issue. That is why they are back in Jamaica to see whether or not they're
I'm
going
I'm
to.
happy. I'm happy you made that point, Skeptic. About it's not about if the man is innocent or not. That is not why we're here, gentle people. So when a man make the conversation that no youth sit down in a jail and that is not the case here. No? And I
Sobe,
even
me
hear
think
hold on one second, brother. Hold on one second,
you're
brother.
smart enough to know say that's
Hold
not
on,
what I'm
bro.
saying. You really
Hold
don't
on.
understand what
No,
I'm
no,
saying.
no. Hold
I
on.
said I
Mo
want
said
to see
now,
I
Hold on,
want to see the
bro. Hold on,
system
no.
work properly.
The man
I
in a
want to see
nice
the
way.
system work properly, brother.
No,
I want to see them do the thing the right way. That's what I am here
Yeah,
for.
but
You understand me? I say?
talking over
Me
each
not
other
business whether
now.
the man them guilty or innocent. I want to see the system work how it should have worked in the first place.
But
no,
That's
sir,
me
but
want to see.
sir, hold on, sir.
General, not nice up the whole thing.
We have to care if a man innocent or guilty, brother. In the business
But
of who.
Subi, the whole point of the argument still where the man must say, me not really agree with where the ones them must say I make it look like say based on what me observe still, me not see where the judge are ruling on particular favor. Arguments present to the judge and them agree with some and them not agree with some, and if you really look on it and use common sense, you see where it look fair. So me wouldn't agree with the ones that make it look like say yo the judge have a particular agenda already still.
I
You
just
know?
want to say a quick thing, Rick. I just want to say
Yeah.
a quick thing. Let's not forget as well. This is the same appeal court that got the matter, right? And sided with the previous ruling, and the Privy Council sent it back to them. So it's a whole 360 degrees turn, and them know say this time them have to get it right. So it's not a matter about how them feel. It's about the arguments presented, and them will make them determination from this.
Absolutely, Matet.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
we agree with the ones that make it look like the judge are ruling on a particular thing there still. Me not see that so far.
That's the
Family.
reason why.
Imhotep, Rick, listen, hear this, yeah? Look, the situation is not about no evidence, you know. The situation is about they're trying to see if it's gonna cost
I
the state.
understand that, but you make the argument in Hannibal, so you have a point to where you see the
Right,
judge.
but listen, the point is this, my general. The evidence already stand. The evidence not change. The evidence
No,
that
but
they had before.
nobody never did say that, brother.
No, but listen, they're gonna move based on that. Based on the evidence, they're gonna move. They're gonna move
But at
forward.
this point in time, though, based on what we're talking about, is this about evidence right now?
Family,
This
listen.
hearing, no, well, on this hearing right now, that's going on. Is it about evidence, or is it about should there be a retrial, or should the matter be thrown out?
Okay, so the retrial is based on if them have enough evidence and if the state will foot the bill. Yeah.
I don't think it's that way.
No, Hannibal.
No, it's more than that. It's about can we find the witnesses? Is the evidence still intact? It is going to cost the state. There's
Thank you
multiple
very much.
factors here that you're not thinking
Yeah.
about,
Me have
man.
to
You're
talk
just
English for
saying
now
stuff to
understand.
say
Please
stuff.
don't
You're not
No,
really
no.
understanding.
And I do not agree with some of what you're saying
Tell me
about
why.
if the
I would
state
love to
can
hear
find
this.
enough, if the state can find enough resources and all them stuff, blah 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 blah. That's not gonna be a deciding factor.
They're also
If they're
going to
gonna just
consider the time
We
he
never said
served
that was gonna
already.
be the deciding
I
factor,
heard
Subi.
skeptics say they're not considering the time, and I can tell him they're also going to consider the time that he spent already in prison. It's been 13 years.
yes, I think they will do that, of course. Because if you look at other situations, I think the least they should have, the most they should have been in the initial stage.
Is the person
was
speaking is Hannibal? Is the person speaking Hannibal? Hello?
When?
Person speaking right now, is it Hannibal?
Hold on, thing there. Miss Julia, Miss Julia there a long time, and unmute the mic, Julia.
No, man, me I listen to you, man. Big up everybody, big up everybody. I mean, I blend in, man. Me I listen and see when I reach in the argument, because I hope we can talk about the evidence thing and everything like that. But anyway, continue. I listen in.
Hey,
Cool.
Subi,
No, what the gentleman say, you have to distinguish what I mean by not consider the time. What I meant by that, to clarify, they're not going into this hearing thinking about time already served. The only time the time will become a factor is when the retrial occur and when the new sentencing. That's when the time already served is going to be factoring.
Okay. Let me
no,
But
stop
they're
you
not
there.
going.
You
Yes.
already said when the retrial happens, which we don't know if there's going to be a retrial that's going to happen. That's the problem with this conversation. There's a preconceived
but
notion that there is going to be a retrial. Where did you guys get that from?
no. What I am saying to you, and if you're listening clearly, I'm saying to you, based on how I see the lineup, this is my hypothesis. There will be a retrial. That's my hypothesis. If you have something else, then that's fine.
I stand with
But
you.
my
I stand with you.
hypothesis
I
is
stand with
that
you,
there
Skeptic.
will be a retrial.
I'm with you with that one, Skeptic.
But what is so wrong though with somebody having that theory?
Because I'm not here saying there will not be a retrial.
Right, but it's not.
So
It's
you
not
have
for,
to look at it
it's not
objectively.
for us
You
to
can't
shoot
just say.
down.
So the thing
if
is,
a
man,
person,
you guys are
there's
having a preconceived notion
you
that
can't
the
say it's
judges have
preconceived if
already
someone is
made up
leaning.
their mind to go to a retrial. That's the problem with the conversation.
So what's wrong with that?
but that's saying that the system is unfair.
But
That's
that's
what
saying that the system
We
is
are not the
unfair. You're
system,
not
my
seeing the
brethren. We are
problem.
not the system, my brethren. We have an opinion. We're having an opinion on
this
what
No,
is
is
but
the
it's
going
just
to
reason.
happen.
opinion based.
Hey, Sobi,
Yeah.
earlier, this is the reason why I say, well, if you the jail, I mean, if you see the system work the proper way, so everybody can get a fair shot at
Family,
justice.
listen,
That's
family.
what I'm
Me go ahead.
saying.
Listen, family. Me do time already in a family, so we know the
Brother,
system
me
working
not
in my
talk about
general.
you, and if you disclose
So
that on the
listen,
show, we
family.
not
No,
talk
but
about
you are making it seem like that I don't understand what the system work. Like me not been in there. I me
No,
just cold-hearted and
me
make
say
it look like
the
some more. You man to go help.
initial argument to me wrong still, because of an idea. I'm gonna have a proof to me where them see the judge are ruling in any form of bias way against
Family,
anyone.
listen to me, family. I can tell you right now. Say, listen to me, my general. I've know of similar situation already where the detective in the case, I can know say detective in the case I tell lie, but not because him tell her one or two lie in the case. There's still other things in the case where the judge still make the case go on forward to make the jury them deal with it. So may I say in this situation, the same thing the judge are gonna do.
So you're saying
No
even
dead
though
so
he's
yet.
not getting a fair process, the judge is still going to
but listen,
continue
no,
on
it's
with the
gonna be a
case?
fair process, my brethren, because then both sides will get to
But you are
present it.
confused argument.
Dude, you're contradicting yourself.
Yeah,
You
come on,
understand that, right?
Family,
You
Yeah,
listen
understand
now,
that you're
hear
making
this
an
now.
argument and then you're stepping on the same
How
argument you're trying to
Hey,
make.
boy,
Julia, talk
how
to people then, Miss Julia. You have to go say something because
how
right
is
now,
it? Listen now, how is it? Listen,
Now listen there, man.
how is it when there's evidence? The prosecution to have evidence
but
to
you
prove
keep
The
certain.
hearing is not about evidence. Can we say that again? The hearing
Okay.
is not about the evidence right now.
Okay.
The
So hold
hearing
on,
is
hold on,
not
hold on, hold on,
about
hold on, hold on,
evidence.
hold on. So one set of man say it's not about evidence, and one set of man say it's about evidence. So which one it is?
Shobi, we not discuss the fact that they have evidence of these men do it. We not discuss that. We are talking about them. I discuss whether or not should we have a retrial based on the circumstances that everything that transpired from way back. Them I look on the entire thing. We already know if they clearly if it's gonna be if they had no evidence at all, clearly nobody would be arguing about having a retrial. You get what I'm saying? They wouldn't be
Right.
arguing that. They're looking at
No, but the
other
gentleman
factors
just
of the
said it's
case.
not a. Hold on, brother. Because we're trying to get a clarity.
But the man,
Because
me understand what I must say
what?
clearly.
No, I mean, I understand what I say clear if him say it's not about evidence, brother. No, ask.
All right, let me break it down a little bit simpler for you. Please follow this conversation. The hearing
You
is
don't
to
have to be
see if okay, the
condescending, brother.
hearing is to see if there should or should not be a retrial. This is not a trial for murder, which means evidence as it is right now is not a significant part of this situation because he's not on a murder trial.
How so? Why is evidence not a
Because
significant
he's
part
not
of
on
it?
a murder trial.
But it doesn't make sense what you're saying because they argue today that the evidence from the phone cannot be used. So yeah, say it's not about evidence.
It's a hearing to see if there should be a retrial, yes or no.
Sir, they argue today about evidence. So why you say it's not about evidence?
You are trying to make it about evidence, but the evidence is not
I'm
the
not
only
trying to make it
factor.
about evidence. That was one of the
Okay,
main arguments
the
today.
evidence is not the
Well,
only
and they can't
factor in
blame
this
the-
case. You understand that, right?
We're not saying it's the only factor, sir.
What are the people? Cause
Hey, I think that really kind of messed up with that. You see that evidence something what happened to the JS1 thing. Me think couldn't really get what happened with that. You understand me? I say, and me think Emotep need to clarify it for you, honestly, because I guess we don't have certain set of people where them alone and listen to.
No, no.
Hold on. So what do you mean by that? So when me say in the day what that change? The lawyer spoke
So,
about
want
the
you to
JS
read
one.
it. No.
Hold
Sorry,
on,
sorry,
man.
that
No,
come
no,
off the
no.
wrong
Hold
way.
on,
Me
let me
want
tell
you
you
to
right.
read it. Just read
Hold
what
on,
you
let me tell
listen
you
to
right.
today and break it down for them.
Hold on, no. Hold
Because
on.
me know you
Hold
like
on.
I think you must say you break it down correctly. So
Right.
we don't
Yes,
want
just,
to.
just read what I'm explain
All
the
right.
evidence
So
something there today.
So let me just say a quick thing
Hold
about
on,
the
before you
JS one.
hold on there, before you thing there. As me say, people, please just don't talk over each other, brother. It don't make sense. Everybody attack one time, because we not here when nobody has it. And it don't make sense.
Okay,
The man
after
attack.
Imotep talk, I'll talk.
But hold on there. Big up Nikki Willie, you know. Yeah, man, Nikki Willie say like, share, and subscribe. That's
Big
it.
up
Big up
Nikki.
Reading Palace. Reading Palace say if we
Big
can
up Reading
allow
Palace.
hold on there. If we can allow each other to talk without interrupting over talking, it would be a great conversation. Exactly. Yeah, man. So stop that over talking something, bro, and just make a man making point. Yeah,
Right.
but you much it. Cause
Yeah,
I
man,
think
and I will implore everyone, just like how we there here, so we have smart devices. Go and read that Jamaica Gleaner article for themselves. It's a lengthy one, but it will give some insight. That JS1 conversation, the judge actually spoke back to Mr. Clark and said, you are rehashing something that was actually done in the past, right? And the Privy Council did not accept it, nor did the Court of Appeal. What he was saying is that based on the telecommunications provider regarding the information, he was arguing that that 1 year window has passed, so therefore that information as it relates to the JS1 will be unavailable. But he was speaking on the matter, rehashing it. That's why the judge actually cautioned him and said, don't rehash that JS1 thing here. So, you know, the Gleaner article is there. Ones and ones can check it out, and you know,
in a layperson term, it means he must say, yo, it not make sense to even go retrial because we're not go privy to that piece of evidence.
Right.
So there you go saying it's not about evidence. You have to bring evidence
No,
now, brother.
evidence have to be a
yeah,
part of it.
me not agree to that part of the argument either. Here's it.
But let me be honest with you guys. And
hold on, man. Go
ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So what Mr. Vegas was just saying, because I just catch on to what we're talking about. What Mr. Vegas was saying is actually very true, because the thing is, yes, it is about whether or not they should have a retrial. But one of the factors in deciding that will be whether it makes sense, because if the evidence will be admitted or not, right? So remember that. You have to remember the relationship of this evidence. This evidence is very important, right? If this evidence is if the JS1 is not submitted or not allowed to be submitted, that means I don't have anything to base the JS2 evidence off of towards it, because you have to think about what the relationship of what the JS1 and what the JS2 is, right? The JS1 is the control copy of the conversations or the text messages or the metadata, whatever was on the phone, right? And the JS2 was basically the working copy, basically what them used, or to basically say who called who text who when, blah blah blah, right? So if the JS1 is not if the control copy is not admitted because of the fact say it may have been compromised, then there is nothing to base that the JS2 evidence is actually authentic and good, because there's nothing for it to base it off of. You understand? You know what I'm talking about, like control as well as the working copy, right? So if them don't have that now and them say that, listen, this cannot be admitted, right? That means that all the defense won't have them don't have anything to say. You know what? We need to go against what they're saying. They don't have anything that basically them don't have nothing for put against to say. You know what? This evidence here in the JS2, what Mr. Brown, what Corporal Brown basically found, we can't say is real, right? So that is the problem.
So Miss Julia,
yeah.
what is this hearing about? Why do they have a hearing? Explain that. And what are they looking at to decide if there should be a retrial?
Right. The hearing is about whether there should be a retrial, right? One of the factors is, okay, them try with the sickness thing. The doctor didn't, it wasn't a very presented properly, them throw that out, right? Them say, okay, another argument is,
Miss Julia, before you go, Miss Julia, they will do that tomorrow. They will enter in the doctor situation tomorrow.
I know, but he just asked me a question, so
no, I'm just giving you that.
Okay, well, I don't know if they're gonna do it tomorrow.
I'm telling you, they're gonna do it tomorrow.
Again, but just make sure you finish your point.
Yeah. So what was I talking about? Yeah. So them looking at different factors, and another factor is, if the evidence is not admissible anymore, does it make any sense to drag these people through this whole case again, right? Does it make any sense? So they have to weigh the evidence, right, and see if it's admissible. The thing, right? Because the defense counsel basically him saying, and him right, the JS2 it had a breach of the ICA and the constitutional right to privacy, right, standards, right? So if it is not, if them say, you know what, it can't go through, then all of that evidence they're going to have to throw it out, and he's going to have to walk, basically.
All right, so
So
Miss
it's
Julia,
very important.
Miss Julia,
hold on, let me just finish up. I have to go jump off. Miss Julia, real quick, right?
Yeah.
Without going into all the details of each pieces of factors each factor them I look at, right?
Yeah.
I want you to just say, are they looking at 5 factors, 10, 15, 20? How many? You have any idea? Because you only mentioned 2, and I don't want people to just think, say,
No,
the man health and the evidence. Or it's a whole body of thing. Which one is it?
No, man, they're looking at everything. You don't see that even Kartel trying to throw other things at the wall, and them saying that, oh, if I go, then I won't be able to provide for my 17 dependents. That's another reason them trying to throw there. And then them say, oh, the length of the time that they spent behind bars already. That's another thing.
So they're looking at everything and not just the evidence, correct?
That's right. That's true.
All right, thank you very much.
No,
hold on.
But listen,
But nobody said they were looking at only evidence.
But hold on, no, before you go though, this is the thing. Not everything you throw has the same weight.
Yeah, but we're not debate apartheid there.
No, I know, but listen, but it's worth consideration though, right?
Because when a man life dep on the line, you mean? Anything or anything.
Exactly, it's worth consideration. So
hold on, before you leave, it's important. It's important for you to understand, right? What the 10 to the 14 means. The burden of convincing is not on the defense. It's not on the prosecution. The burden is on the defense because they have to convince the prosecution not to proceed. That's what these 4 days is about. It's to convince the prosecution not to take this thing back to a retrial. If they're successful, the prosecution and the government may consider not to go to a retrial, but the 4 days represent the defense team trying to sway trying to sway the prosecution not to take it to a retrial. So the burden is on them, not on the prosecution.
So Skeptic, earlier when you say you know it a go a retrial and all of them things, why you never just say all of that instead of saying, yo, it a go a retrial? Why you never just say all of that?
Because that's my hypothesis. Because I believe it will go to a retrial. But the burden is not on the prosecution. The burden is on the defense team. And that's what this 4 days is about.
Debate that, but you know, so the state also go look on what it's gonna cost them. You know that, right?
I think
It's not just
I
a
think
one-way thing.
I think
You
the
know that,
problem
right?
is I think the problem is
cost don't
Skeptic.
necessarily have to do with money alone.
Skeptic. I think the problem is, you're not supposed to have any form of hypothesis if it's not in support of the defense. That's the problem.
Exactly.
So if you hypothesize anything and you're not hypothesizing that the DJ go walk, you are anti this and if you go SMN
No, that's so be a joke thing at the panel now. A joke thing at the
No, reality, Mr. No, reality, Mr. Vegas is talking. No, maybe not you. Maybe not you. Listen, maybe not you, but that's what Mr. Vegas just mentioned is reality. Call a spade a spade.
Brother. But we are reason.
No, but the man I say from early time I hypothesize that and you keep shooting it down. So you you're apartheid too.
No, but the thing is, Subi, in the interest of reasoning still,
Right.
as we always reason, if someone say, I hypothesize that it's going to a retrial, always say, all right, let me hear why you said that. So someone saying, let me hear why you said that. From my personal perspective, I don't see it as shooting down his argument, so to speak.
Come on, that aggressive tone.
Well, on Hannibal, well, on a reasoning and sometimes a human nature, brother. As long as we respect each other, that's right there. I'm saying, if anybody say, I see a retrial, and a person say, well, all right, if you see a retrial, all right, let me kind of understand why you said that and what basis. It's trying to understand as well, the basis for your assertion or your hypothesis.
Maybe you did on that. Maybe you did on that rock, brother.
No,
anybody have anybody hypothesize or anybody have any opinion and it's not towards the accused or the defense brethren, it seems as if you're a hater, or you're this or you're that, brother. Trust me, man.
A quick question, Subi. Is that statement applicable to like the ones on the panel who are like, asking, like a skeptic, if say, well, on what basis, you're framing that hypothesis, or say in general?
No, skeptic give him reason why I'm saying think it's going to a retrial. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, so that's dialogue and
Hold on, let me ask that question. So something wrong with skeptic, I say think it's going to a retrial?
No. And it is normal as well as an intelligent conversation. People want to establish on what basis a man will think the way them think. So a reason we are reason. So
yeah, but it's not outside of the reasoning, outside of the scope of reasoning for a person have some form of hypothesis or theory or whatever.
No, and that's what I said, Subi. The hypothesis, nothing is wrong for someone who have to formulate an hypothesis, but in the interest of the conversation, I mean, people have asked and say on what basis you're holding that, and somebody explain themselves in that story. I just some meetings say the reasoning really ago. I don't see
the problem is you say if we hypothesize the defense way, it's like we get less rejection to the hypothesis. But once we hypothesize anything to the prosecution or the state, brother, it's like instant rejection of the hypothesis, and even rejection without providing any evidence to show why you reject the hypothesis.
And watch this now, Subi. People are gonna be for or against. So watch this now. If somebody are gonna say, I hypothesize that it's gonna be thrown out, then me I gonna ask the same question because I 2 days me see, and so far me not see nothing that convince me, but to each his
own. You not see nothing.
Let me finish them in general. Me I say me can speak for myself. Me not talk for everybody. So me I say is this now. If somebody say them I go speak to defense and say I hypothesize that it's gonna be thrown out, me I go ask the question and say on what basis you are saying that. Because
ask me. Me hypothesize that I go through it.
Right. So on what basis are you, framing that hypothesis?
Because I think so the evidence where the prosecution may have is not going to be of use.
What type of evidence?
The phone evidence and so
The
forth.
JS2 and JS1.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me
Alright.
thinks I also think, I also believe it's going to be difficult to get witness the same. I'm not sure if the witnesses are available. I'm not sure if the juror selection is going to be that easy to sort out. There's a few things, but I think it's not going to make it go to a retrial. So there is my argument for my hypothesis. What
Mr.
says you?
Mr. Vegas, I like how you set up that.
Skeptic, hold on, I'm gonna talk about 6 times and I give me a little talk. As I say, with my whole issue with the whole argument still, it's just the initial part where the ones them didn't make it look like say the judge have some form of bias to this or that. Just that alone was my
no, I don't see
disagreement
that.
to the whole.
I never hear that part. I don't see that though. Really.
Yeah, that's where the argument basically starts from.
Oh, okay, I see now. Oh, I see.
You know?
Okay.
No, so it's starting about then it went to and we were upset to the state that because I not agree with that neither. I not agree with what everybody said. I agree with it because if that were the case, the state could have just make this into a quick we're gonna reach out and that's it. They actually sit down and hear evidence and give 4 days, just to hear the arguments. The prosecution has to present the argument.
The state can't just do that, so
what are the people? I think say at this time, I think the Jamaican courts would really want to make a statement say, yo, we're capable of angling a case without any form of bias and anything already. Even the speeches from the judge make you know from its start, say, yo, even the media, they make no say we don't want to show about no false, nothing where we not say in here to the people and all of them things there. So everything point to a fair trial and all of the rulings and so forth we see so far. If you assess them look fair enough, and all of what we see go and make sense so far already.
Right.
Somebody will just disagree with me and say whatever. Because I think that sometimes when I just listen to respond, I want to listen, not really listen what somebody else say, I never said them could have just call a retrial. I never say so. Is it the norm for them to put it to 4 days or 5 days?
That's what it sounded like
argument?
It said, Subi.
No, I didn't say that.
No, all right. No, you're saying that is it the norm?
Yeah.
For them to put a hearing? Well, I'm not aware, right? But what I know for a fact is that this is an extraordinary case. You get what I say? It's very unique.
Brother, the state could have just come in and just get a 2-day hearing, defense talk, prosecution talk, decide and this is what I'm do. I think that's given enough time to hear an argument from both sides.
Right. I think what they're doing is playing it safe because remember the Privy Council, I watched them too, because the Privy Council, remember they had this matter before, the same matter, and it's back at their feet now.
Brother, so this case is a very as a landmark case because it's gonna tell what kind of justice system we are dealing with. And this is not about feelings, and this is not. That's why they give it 5 days, so people can present argument. So far, the argument that the defense are present, whatever the judge not wrote, him tell them say, "Well, we will get back to that." You understand? That means that them still are going to do even further research on that.
Yeah.
Them still are going to meet on that. Them still are going. So you have to. It's not just a little or come up thing that me I talk about. It's not a little or come up thing when I say, yeah man, I could just go retrial, I could just go the man.
So be that me assure you.
And there is continuous. There's some things continue as well because listen, look at it this way too. I don't know if I'm going to throw out that JS2 thing, but look at the reason why they kept it last time. Right, is really important because when they were arguing against it being there because I was talking about how it was retrieved wrong, breaching the ICA, which is for everybody around interception of the Communications Act, right? So just because of how it was handled, right? The judge said that look here, Mr. Chow's identification of Vybz' voice in the evidence is enough. And then not only that, but he also said, him also referred to the old case, Donald Phillips versus something, where them say basically like flawed procedures led to still admissible evidence, right? So he went back into some old case and said no, even though the procedures were flawed in how it was collected or handled, it could still be admissible based on the relevance of it, right? Even if it's not allowable under the ICA. That is what the judge argued last time, right?
Right. And Miss
So
Julia, oh, I'm sorry. I thought
no,
you
no. So what I'm saying is we do not know if they will have a change of heart or them going to something. But these are very strong. The reasons why they kept it before was pretty strong. That's all I'm
right,
saying.
right. Miss
Yeah.
Julia,
Yeah, well,
right.
before you say nothing, what your thoughts
Yeah.
quickly? Just give me 2 seconds. Big up Mood Man, you know. Mood Man say free up the Gaza bar. So big up Mood Man. You don't know anything, but respect for your super chat. Go to
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
man.
you
I just
saying?
want to say this quick and fast that as it relates to the crown witness there,
Yeah.
if memory serves me right and I stand corrected, the appeal court
Yeah.
actually say that yeah, man, he's
Lawyer.
not credible.
Yes, that is
You
true.
understand me? I say so that can chew a little spoken of the way.
That
Me
is
just want to
true.
add that thing, Miss Julia. That's all.
No, you're
Yeah.
right. No, but you are right. You know, you are perfectly correct about that.
Yeah.
So we don't know, and that is why it's a question right now. So it's a very important question, and
The same
we're going to see how it play out tomorrow. But go ahead, Anibal. What you saying?
the same appeal court to upheld the last got the same conviction.
What was
The
the
appeal
question?
court will turn down the first appeal.
Yeah, we turned on
Right.
the first appeal.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
It's only one.
And what we need to look on too. Remember, we don't know everything we are submitting a court. We just get some look at highlight, some look at preview or something we're going. We're not sitting there. So we don't know where prosecution, we don't know where defense, so we don't know everything. Because based on some of the reasoning when we go back and me hear the attorney them come out and them say certain things, it sound like they had a good DR, you know what I mean? And it sound promising. So we really don't know. We can look on some headline and we say, Jano boy, look good for them. That's why best we just sit down and see what go on. You get what
Right.
I'm
I'll
saying?
take it step by step for real. Take it
You
step
have
by
to take
step.
it step by step, but you can read documents too. Like a lot of these documents for you can research why they did things before them actually went to the Privy Council and stuff like that.
And one
And
thing you were saying just now, Miss Julius, some
yeah,
evidence can be admissible, right? But they can't
yes,
be a part of the considering factor for the jury to come with a verdict. Just so
right.
people know that. All right.
Right, exactly right. But
I think
this is the thing though, and this is the craft. This is the craft that my friend highlighted to me today. Right, she's a defense lawyer in Jamaica, and I was talking to her about the case. So she was like explaining to me, and she was going through the JS2, JS1 thing, and she was telling me the relationship between the two CDs and stuff like that, right? And the fact that, and she also told me that what they need to also say is that the JS2 was actually mislabeled before. But anyhow, we can go in that afterwards. But here's the craft that she highlight to me. She said to me, Julia, you see, even though with the liquor addict going there and pulling on heartstrings, right? Because I was telling her that, what kind of strategy is that? How foolish is that, right? And she said to me, that is true. Even though they threw it out, guess what? Nobody can unhear it. So she said that is also craft. She said a lot of times defense attorneys or even in courtrooms, they will say something knowing that the other person will object, but also keeping in mind that the jury cannot unhear what was said. So there's always going to be that little bit of bias there in the background of the mind, even if they have been instructed to strike it, right? And this is just, she said to me, it's just human emotions and just human nature, right? And she said that people know that the best of the best know that. So I will reveal what her she said. I say I
No,
can
no,
quote
no,
you. She said
that is true. That is
she
true.
said you can
I have
quote me,
first-hand
but don't
experience
call
with
me
that.
name.
That's
So I'm not
true.
gonna call her name. But yeah.
That's true. But the only thing we need to remember though, there wasn't any jury in there. You
No, I
understand what
know,
I'm
yeah.
but
So
saying?
who's
yeah,
that string my pull pan?
but his speech was still out there and
It's
him
out
being
there and
on.
it's
Who?
gonna be in the media. This is
Yeah,
true,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
But we
yeah.
also need to remember now, say the prosecution, when them ready, them have them grand jury, where them sit down with a pool of jurors, probably not necessarily those that are gonna sit on a case, right? But those who gonna hear it and see if it makes sense to bring down an indictment or a charge, if you don't understand what I say.
Okay.
Listen,
So,
I can tell you this, Virgin.
mm,
The the argument or the defense is making an argument that is unconstitutional to even retry the mandate. So I don't know, based on it being unconstitutional, if that is gonna fly. You see, I wouldn't have made that argument. I would have stayed away from it being a constitutional matter, because, of course, I don't think it violates their constitutional rights to if a retrial happens,
They're
because
still
of
charged.
course the state is going to argue that somebody was KILLED, and after 7 years, of a missing person, that person is pronounced or is viewed
Dead.
as a deceased.
Deceased.
So we can call that the DATH of somebody, right? However, the argument that the defense made, they made two valid arguments. The same thing that you're talking about, Miss Julie.
Yeah.
If part of the evidence is compromised,
Yeah.
what are they gonna use to prosecute him?
That
Secondly,
is what it is.
if the
Right.
main witness, because the state admitted that they do not have their main witness.
Right.
That
Oh,
would sound
the
like the
state did
crown
say
witness
that?
to me.
The
Yeah.
state said that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the state there's a story about that. Yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
state.
So if the
Well,
state
man.
doesn't
boy,
have
I tell about
their
Jamaica system.
main witness, what's wrong with the system?
No, what I'm saying, okay, so all right, we'll kind of backtrack a little bit, right? You know, from my understanding, right, speaking to people who work in the JCF, right, they would explain like Jamaica have a witness protection thing set up, but it kind of really not make no sense. You get what me I say? And this
Yeah, man,
case was
horrible.
one of the, yeah, hear me? Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
man,
you're
go
right.
ahead,
It's
go ahead,
horrible.
go
It's horrible.
ahead.
It's
Yeah,
right.
it
You're
is
right.
Yeah.
terrible.
This case was one of the cases where they had to be kind of innovate. They had to change things. You get what I say? So what happened now, right? Me, the little comment when we make just now, I was saying, you know, when they had this witness, right, and then promised him whatever I send him, wherever them send him, did they live up to the end of the bargain? Did they give him what they promised, right? Because we
Facts.
don't know. No, we're there 13, 14 years later, right? This witness feel comfortable enough to come back forward, come testify again. You know what I mean? So this
Yeah,
it's a
and
bunch of things them have to consider when we are talking about look on the entire thing. The
right,
state I gotta
I
look
just
on what
want to
it's gonna
say,
cost them.
I just want to say a quick thing too, because we know so enough over there. This is the defense attorney. He make an interesting statement, and I want us to look at this statement we make.
Yeah.
Right? Because remember, you know, as them say, you know, everybody have the right to a fair trial.
Yeah.
And guess what go now? A fair trial has many components.
Right.
Meaning say that's, you know, yeah man, nobody not tamper with nothing and yada yada. However, the time factor, you see the 10-year,
Yes.
the 10-year appeal process, that technically can be interpreted
Yeah.
as them
Unfair.
not being given the right to a fair trial
Yes,
based
Right.
on the
unfair.
time that it took.
Right.
So
Based on the
I
time.
want us to
Exactly.
pay a key. I just want to throw that little nugget
You
out.
mean
That's
you
all.
mean
That's
the, you
why
mean
the
the appeal
lawyer,
when them losing in Jamaica?
I'm sorry?
The appeal that they lost in Jamaica, right?
Yeah,
it
yeah,
took them
yeah,
a
yeah.
while to get to the
Yeah.
appeal court, hear that. And that's why earlier when we were having the dialogue over Emotep channel, right? It was said that when you bring up the thing boy, the lawyer said, right? And
Right.
I responded and I said, right, if him never get a fair trial, I believe him never get a fair trial based on the factors all the way just mentioned just now,
Right.
10 years ago. Who's to say the same thing won't happen
But
again?
question, why did it take so long for him to
A
get
Jamaica, man. A
The
Jamaica mess
appeal
up that
No,
man.
process.
give me that. No, give me that, man.
No,
No, give me
no,
that,
no,
man.
no. It's the appeal process, Subi.
Yeah.
The length of the time where
The
it
length
takes,
of the time it takes a
right?
while.
But the problem is, you know, time factor. Because remember them saying, you know, justice delayed is justice denied.
No, let me ask this still.
Yes.
What's the set time? Is there a set time where you're supposed to get an appeal?
Well, watch this now. As them say, legally, it should be reasonable.
It has
That's
to be
the word
reasonable.
them
There's
use.
never a set
Yeah,
time,
that's the
right?
word
It
them
has
use.
to be
Reasonable.
reasonable.
Right. So 10 years, Subi, the defense will argue that that is not reasonable, and that's a valid argument.
And then that's why
Well,
them bring up say the
them have
privy.
to look at other cases. Though.
That's the reason why the judge call and ask for other precedents where appeals, you know, have been dealt with. But as
In the
we are
last
saying,
6 years, yeah.
right. Well, what I'm saying though is that it's a 10-year thing there. Yeah, man. You know, they will argue that it's not a reasonable
That's not
time.
reasonable. Yeah, exactly. You're
Right,
right.
right,
No,
right,
it's,
right.
it's
All
Right,
facts.
right,
It's facts.
Toby. And that's
right.
why earlier, I mean, me kind of fix up a thing now. That's why earlier, I say, what them man I do, them damn guilty, damn guilty. Whatever it is, I don't know. Me never did that with them. Whatever going
Right,
on, right? But me I say,
right.
there are some youths that they are jail right now where, honestly, them have served some 20 years, right? Probably halfway through them sentence are almost done, right? And them probably really, really innocent, right? But the system not give them a fair shot. So what I'm saying, me and watch this thing I come on to see the justice system work the right way. So me no want nobody I say, oh,
So
judge
you
make
think,
up
say,
mine. Go ahead, go ahead.
this is a case where I go set a precedent for
Of
better
course, it's
treatment
not.
of persons who
I
are
believe,
serving.
I believe
Yeah,
so,
me
Serving.
think so.
especially, I believe so, especially if we stay under the Privy Council. I believe so. Because enough
Sir,
things that get highlighted, brother.
sir,
Enough things we are saying.
the
Now, go
only
ahead.
reason why we are talking about this right now is
Mhm.
because of resources, brother.
Things on time change still. You're right. You're right. You're right. But,
There's
you know,
resources why we are talking about this, brother.
well, that's true
After
still. You
this,
understand? But the
after this,
system, uh-huh.
isn't
Go ahead.
I don't believe this
You
may
don't think
set
it'll change nothing?
precedent for a next man we have money.
Well, that's true. That's the next thing too. That's unfair to
First thing,
people.
first thing is how the resources we need to get to our privy council, and and that is not you know a process where a lot of people can afford.
That's very
So
unfair,
before we
brother.
even try say we have set a precedent, okay, this is a case where we set a precedent. We have to bear in mind say we already we have an issue with getting case heard by the Privy Council.
Yep.
And that's why I immediately lean to the final court of appeal to be in Jamaica. But
I,
PJ Patterson said we cannot afford it.
and you know what's crazy too? I think the Privy Council here between somewhere between 30 and 70 cases per year. Something like that. You understand? That's what how many hearings them have, pertaining to cases. And that's also a sad thing, you know what I mean? And them 70 cases, you can imagine how long it take to review one case and come with a decision. It's a whole heap of thing, brother. But the reason why imagine the Privy Council hear only certain amount of cases, right? And a man in the queue 10 year and Jamaican courts alone I look for 500 cases or whatever. But it's just real unfortunate. And you have to wait for them to shut down for your Jamaica before your family can come out with some money and possibly go at the Privy Council. You know, look good. Jamaica system need to fix up, brother.
Imhotep, Miss Julie,
Yeah, I'm here.
if them only have the copied version of the recordings, right?
Yeah.
Can they do a phone analysis, a voice analysis to determine authenticity?
I don't know, but it's not only about that though, right? It's not only about the voice that was on it apparently. So apparently Corporal Brown used it also for the metadata. So okay, let me explain the JS for the people who, because people weren't understanding the JS1 and the JS2. Remember, the JS1 is the control copy CD, right? So it's used by the court. It's supposed to be used by the court. It's the copy, right? It was marked by the person who prepared it, right? And it's standard against which the integrity of the JS2 will be tested. Okay. Now the JS2 is the working copy, right? So the JS1 is supposed to have on basically all original unaltered data. That is the JS1. Think about it that way. The JS2 is the working copy, right? Now, this was the working copy used by the police. So them basically use it for them investigative work, right? So basically, the JS2's integrity, it cannot be easily verified by physical markings. Apparently, that is what they said, right? The person who prepared the JS2, him couldn't visually distinguish it from any other CD, so him never mark it properly. So that, as well as the fact that there was a concern that the JS2 could have been manipulated or tampered with by the unscrupulous individual because of the fact that it wasn't marked properly, right? So that raised doubts about the reliability and the authenticity of the JS2. Now, if the JS1 is not admissible, there is nothing to basically say, see, it's you can put this data against the JS1 and say okay, this is right. This is exactly what happened, because the JS1, again, remember, contains unaltered original data, right? Right. So, but despite, you know, the problems and the concerns about it, it was used by the law enforcement, the JS2, right? And it was used to analyze the call data records, them, you know, whatever information them have, right? But the JS1, it serves as a benchmark for the data integrity, right? And the JS2 contains the actual data used in the investigation
So Miss
and basically
Julie,
the legal proceedings, right? So
so
yeah,
me think we understand what you're saying. But
yeah, I
what
just
I'm
want to make
saying
sure
is,
everybody understands. Sorry
so
for being
what? So the
long-winded.
mother
Yeah.
is what then?
What do you mean by the model?
The original.
The JS1.
The JS1 is the original,
the
and
JS1.
that is the one that they said is only valid
That
for
is
1
the
year.
control copy. That is the control copy. It's supposed to be used as a benchmark for data integrity. That's the JS1.
Right. But what I'm asking you, is that the copy that they say is only good for 1 year, or is the copy?
The JS1 is not the copy. It is the control copy. In other words,
No, this one
yeah.
The defense argued
Yes.
that it is not valid after 1 year.
It should not be admissible.
Is it the JS1 or the JS2?
The JS1.
No, I'm not about admissible. I'm not about valid. The validity, right? It's by law. I think the Data Protection Act, it's not valid after 1 year.
There was two situations with that. That was the JS2, how it was how it was handled, and also the chain of command with the JS2, right? So because
I'm not asking about somebody using it or anything, you know.
Okay.
I'm saying to you, the defense argued that the 1 year has passed of its validity. I don't know if that's why I'm asking if it's the JS1 or the JS2.
It's the JS1, apparently.
The JS1 is no longer valid.
No, you know what? I didn't read that, you know, to be honest. What I read was the JS1 may have been compromised.
Imhotep still there?
Yeah, man. I'm still there. I'm still there.
So Imhotep, what is invalid?
That's not what it is at all. Listen, it was challenged to the integrity of the data, right? That is what it is. Okay. So without the JS1, the defense, them lose all crucial reference point to basically say this information on the JS2 is not right. Them
what was the argument, Imhotep?
All right. Yeah, right. He was speaking about the JS1 material, right? Yeah, man. It was unavailable to the defense during the trial. You get what I say? That is one.
Right.
And the data from the phone providers, them. You get what I say?
Right.
You know, i.e. Digital and Lime, it only have a 1 year lifespan and would no longer be available.
It's not available. But it was also challenged with the integrity. That's the reason why it's not going to be available too. That is what I understood from what I read.
Hence why they are saying it would be unfair.
Right. So what I'm saying basically is their limited inability to verify the evidence, right? So the absence of the JS1, it limits the defense's ability to independently verify the authenticity and the accuracy of the digital evidence from the JS2.
Should that evidence be used,
which was the
if
JS2.
they go to a trial?
So based on everything we are saying,
the JS2. So basically them saying that we can't argue against this JS2 without the JS1. So if the JS1 is not going to be there, the JS2 should not be there as well. That is what they're trying to
do. And they're saying the JS1 is invalid now. That's what they're saying?
Well, yeah, basically that's what I'm saying. After 1 year, it have a 1
year.
And
we're sure that this is a JS1, right?
Yes,
I'm
positive.
JS1.
I am positive.
Yes, they are saying that it was unavailable to them during the trial, you know. Remember, you know, right? And what they're also saying is that the telecommunications providers, right, it only have a 1 year lifespan. So they are arguing that it would not be available.
It's not be available.
When I say only have a 1 year lifespan, what do you mean?
They are saying that the information from it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
That means the data is no longer available?
Right. The material, right? One, they were saying it wasn't available at the trial. That is one. And they are saying that because of the 1 year lifespan that it had, it is no longer available now for the defense to use. Or, you know,
I'm going to ask a question. Is this the same data that they did a forensic on to prove that it was tampered with?
I think so. I think so.
Yes, it is. So now that
So why?
Subi,
So
I've
how
been
was it
saying that
valid?
to you for the
Hold
past
on,
5
hold on.
minutes. Yes,
So
it
how
is.
was it valid after 1 year for the defense to do the analysis on it?
No, because but hold on, Subi, it begs the question, you know, when was the forensic analysis done?
Right.
That is what they ordered to go to the Privy Council. They ordered a forensic analysis.
But the forensic analysis wasn't done in 2014 or 2015.
It was done after the trial. So that would have been past the 1 year.
No. The forensic analysis where them bring in the special person, you know, where them bring in a person there. That was really when the trial did done, right? And then they got to the appeal court with it, right? Right. So they went to the appeal court with that.
So my question is though.
That was what 2018, 2019?
So my question is though. So how was it valid for the defense to use? It may make sense. May make sense?
All right, Subi. All right, maybe just
They
kind of
didn't
help
go
my
to the
part.
appeal court with that. They went to the appeal court, the JS2. And
no, I'm saying, you know, if them say the data is invalid, so it cannot be admissible after 1 year. Yeah.
All right, Subi, catch a look at technicality, you know, Zine.
Past tense, them attacking.
All right, Subi, check that technicality, you know, Zine. Remember, now Privy Council never even did look upon that. Zine?
Right.
So we can't
try use that the Privy Council. So if it was invalid, so what I say is, you know, this is what I say, no. If they're going to use the argument now, so the data is invalid after 1 year, why were they trying to use it?
Well, you can't, me get what you say, but we can't even argue that because that never going to make no sense now, right? Now, if they have a trial, they're going to use that now. Them can use that for argue certain things. You get what I say? That's some more I look funny instead of stress out with
they're saying that now they are unable to use that.
To use the JS.
So what I'm saying is though, there can be a counter argument though, right?
No, technically, because not because the Privy Council never look upon that and give a ruling.
No. I'm saying, what I'm saying, hear me out. Me don't know if that makes sense. I'm saying, based on the Master the Data Act, right? According to the defense, this data is not valid after 1 year, right?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the same data that they took, did a forensic on to present at the Privy Council hearing? Is it the same data?
It's really, I think it's more about the device, you know, right?
Whatever it is, is it the same thing? Let me ask.
What I'm trying to explain, what I'm trying to say to you is that there were two arguments for the two different datas. There was an argument for the JS1, there's an argument for the JS2. The JS2's argument, right, was basically them saying that the way how they received the information and the chain of command and how it was handled was wrong, and it should not have been able to be admitted. Them admitted anyway because of the fact that them say, you know what, the evidence on it is so intense and that it's so clear that it can still stand, right? The JS1 now is a different argument. Now them talking about the JS1. Now them saying that, listen, if the JS1 cannot be, if the JS1, if them say that the time passed for the JS1, as well as the fact that it was mishandled, it wasn't labeled properly, as well as the fact that it could not be differentiated from the other copies, right? So we don't know if any unscrupulous person messed with the data, right? Because we cannot use what the prosecution uses as evidence against the JS1 because the JS1 is not admitted or not admissible. The JS2 should not be allowed. So all of that evidence with the phone and the text messages and the metadata cannot be allowed. It's not admissible. Just based off of that.
I understand what you're saying, Miss Julie, but Miss Stida, I ask the question is, when did the defense know that this data is not valid after 1 year?
To be honest with you, you know, probably them never even did know, you know. Probably they never even know until now, you know, until recently, you know. Probably them never know.
So you say ignorance played a role in
it probably yes. Because you know when a man do a thing, them a go try everything to get off. You get what I say? But no, them a go try, you know, them a go
Well, I guess we will find out when the prosecution present, because if it's ignorance, then you may expect the prosecution to pick it up, because if the real person can pick up that.
You know what's funny? They may raise a point with that same thing that where the prosecution never even did realize. So let's see. You get what I say? See, I mean, it can be human error in the thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but make human error in any form of settings like this. Still, you have to expect a pushback still.
True.
And that's what I say, because if you go argue that the data is invalid after 1 year, right? Then me ask the question, then you never know that when you do the forensic on it to present.
True. There you go.
Because it's like you actually make it valid. Valid, you understand me I say?
Yeah, I understand, yeah.
So you go argue against your own action. So I don't know if I understand. But it's a strong argument still, that's why I question it.
But do you guys know why? Okay, even this whole thing for the whole year thing, to me, and if it being still, I understand that it's a standard. Okay, fine, it's a standard. But sometimes you have to look at these standards. You know why them have the 1 year as limit for the stale data? Because the fact that it's in the form of a CD. That's what it is. It's because of the technological changes, right? Because of the fact that them say information that's stored in a CD, it may actually it may be corroded over time, right? The data degradation, them call it, right?
So
because exposure to any kind of light, heat, and humidity.
So question
right?
on that, Miss Julie. Like if we go to the analogy, let me go to an example of me storing music, voices on a 24 track.
Yeah.
But I transfer the voice from a 24 track to a CD.
Right.
But the 24 track is really when is the mother.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So the CD is contaminated. Can I go back to the 24 track to retrieve the data?
This is okay, but this is the problem though with the off of the principle, the legal considerations, right? Then put legal limitations and admissibility of evidence, because if them consider it stale or outdated, because them say if it's stale or outdated, it's less reliable, right? And it's less able to be used or obtained or relevant to the case. This is the argument for legal considerations for it, right? For the data degradation, which don't make no sense to me. But them also say that the factors such as the exposure to light, heat, humidity.
No, but my point is, sister.
What you ask?
My point is, if you can go back to the mother.
Yeah, but if the JS1, but the JS1 is the mother.
So that's the original. But it wouldn't be on a CD then.
Okay, remember the
so it wouldn't be on a CD form. It wouldn't be on a CD format then.
Well, it was. It
would have to be transferred from something to the CD.
Well, I don't know how they recorded it or what they did to record it or
No,
whatever.
what I say is, if in the data bank, when we talk on the phone now, the data has been stored,
I understand what you're saying.
The data that where me and talk now, whatever they accuse them did say.
Right.
That's not going away.
Yeah,
but
man,
it doesn't
but
right.
legally, Subi, legally,
exactly.
Time frame as to how you can use it as admissible evidence.
Right.
All right, so me ask a question then. All right, so based on what you said then.
Right.
So an unsolved murder, right? 5-10 years pass. So Donnelly then. They find a phone from Maitland, the accused, after 3-4 years, of her disappearance. And on this phone, they find data that is incriminating. Are you going to tell me that you can't use?
No, the difference is that, Subi. Watch this now.
Right, and it depends.
Your argument is
explain it to me.
Your argument is that phone was found and data was retrieved.
That's different.
That's different.
The telecommunications company provided the data
it. That's
and
different.
things like that.
Right.
You get what I
And
so
also
right, but what I say is, but them still have the
original,
still have the
Subi,
data.
It doesn't matter. Listen, Subi, let me tell you, Mr. Vegas, why it don't matter, right?
Right.
It is the intention. The JS1 legally is intended to be used as the control copy. So this is what them consider the mother. This is what them, regardless if it was taken from the ether or whether it was taken from a cloud or whatever. This is what them say. This yasa is the original. We're treating it as the original control copy. So whatever it happened before, or whoever them retrieve it before, it doesn't matter. Even if it was just live, right?
I'm with. You know what? I'm hearing you, Miss Julie.
Yeah.
But I would like. I think I'm gonna wait and hear from the prosecution because
Okay,
maybe we
well,
would
wait
there.
and listen.
I
But I'm
try
explaining
bust your
what the
brain for
roles is of the
something.
JS1. But you can
You
read,
know, no,
but this
but
is
I'm
something
not
you can
convinced.
research, you know.
I'm not convinced, because I try to do some research on the Data Act today, and I'm seeing on the Data Act, even though it's the one that the 2021 version. I try to look on earlier Data Act, the Data Protection Act, and it is saying that it must be stored um, as I think the storage of the data must be in a necessary at a certain time when if necessary or something like that.
Right. But Subi, you have to
But
also,
that don't negate anything.
oh, 1 second, Miss
Yeah,
Julia. You have to also look at the interception of communications.
exactly.
You
The
have to look
intersection
on
of
the one there as
communication
well.
act.
Yeah, that is a very key one because the JS1 there is
Right.
applicable to the Interception of Communications Act.
Right.
So, we definitely gonna look on that one.
We can look at it,
Give
but
me a look a second there, people.
okay.
Well, I'm told you, big papa there, I want to say a thing too. But reading policy, Mr. Subi, original data's life cycle and maybe even discarded at the end of the life cycle. Pick up yourself, reading policy. So
Reading himself, reading palace.
yeah,
But
that is
no, but
reading input to the whole thing.
But Mr. Vegas, you can research this yourself. Look up the JS1, the relationship between the JS1 and JS2, or I can send you some documents. And also, too, even the last case, right? What them had about this whole argument with the JS1 and the JS2. If you read that up and you see what the objections were, you look through it, you can see exactly what I was talking about. You have to look at the role of the JS1 and the role of the JS2, right? And the data degradation is a real thing, right? And that is what them used to basically say, you know what? This is less reliable because of the fact that it is in CD form and because a year has passed and because it was not marked properly. The person who was supposed to be stored and distinguished as the JS1, the mother copy, it was not marked properly, and that is also in the report. So you guys can read and check it out if you don't believe me.
Yeah,
So what? Good night. Good night.
Good
So
night, Big Papa.
what did the prosecution, the defense, forensic analysis analyze? How long after the data was collected? What did they use to analyze that the phone was tampered with?
Okay, so what they would have looked at would have been like dates and how things get modified and stuff like that on the phone. You start playing with phone and change certain things, delete certain things. It shows that the phone has been modified. You
don't
get what I
forget
say?
the message that was sent from it too, not true.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Let me show
So
you something real quick. The chain of custody was very bad on the phone.
Right.
I'm so upset that we are
I
discussing evidence right now.
understand that. I understand that the chain of custody was bad on the phone. But if the data goes bad after a year, but the phone was analyzed 2 or 3 years after, so 2 year, what was analyzed when the defense said them have them forensic analysis that analyzed the phone? Exactly what did they analyze?
The same thing when we just mentioned. Data on the phone. The phone data was changed. Text messages were sent. That's what that's what they analyzed.
Okay, it has nothing to do with the
JS1
communication.
thing. No, I don't
No,
think so.
no, no.
Hey,
You don't
a
think.
quick
You
thing there.
don't know if your pocket. Don't
A
think.
quick
All
thing there, Big Papa. Say, all right? Like if you are work with a company now and you left them, say 4 years from now, you can go circle them and ask them for your file, and you're going by law, them have to keep it for 5 years. You understand me? I say? You see, after 5 years, them can dash with that, and you can't go to them and say them dash with your personal information.
Exactly.
I
Because
just say
they
that
have
to
to get
say
rid
this.
of it.
There is a
Yes.
time as to which certain information can be stored and kept legally.
right.
You get
Okay.
what me I say? So me
That
just
is
want to
Right.
find
facts.
that
That
out.
is facts.
Right. Okay. And you have to remember how important that JS2 was too. Because Corporal Brown, he used the JS2, he used it to analyze the call data record, right? He identified merging, incoming, and outgoing calls. It's all in the report, right? him sort the calls by date and numbers. That's what him actually used to make a spreadsheet, right? Him use the spreadsheet and him creates like the whole content which was used as evidence, communication, and cross-reference the calls to attribute, the people, them names and them aliases and all of that stuff, right? So that is very, very important, right? Him identify the relevant calls. Him prepared evidence based off of using the JS2, right? So that is a big thing now. If them don't allow, and the defense's argument is a good one.
But
Because
if
if
the
the JS1 is
prosecution
not
don't have a
allowed,
strong, if the prosecution don't have a strong argument for what we are talking about right now, it look bad for them still, Yeah, be
Right.
honest. And
No.
But it can't
No,
look,
no.
it can't look worse for the prosecution.
No,
The
I'm saying it
prosecution
looks bad
already
if
have
they cannot
edge on
counteract
them.
these arguments.
Them have black on they can't look, but me still hung up. Me still up in the air because what I heard to them, I never listen right through. But it seems like most of the things that the prosecution put forward are the things that was made public that the maybe somebody at work against the defense. It's like it was questioned, it was set aside. Most of the things, like like the judge was almost adversarial to the prosecution, to the defense.
You think
No.
so?
That,
In what way you think so, Big Papa?
Big Papa, I just want to say this in general.
Yeah.
When the defense made the argument to say that the length at which the appeal process went, that can be considered unconstitutional. That's what they are arguing, because the right to a fair trial also entails a reasonable time. What the judge did argue is to say that at the end of the day, a 15, because I remember him compare say the Privy Council was quick and expeditious in their deliberations, but our system took how much years for the appeal. What the judge said to him was this: listen me, a 15 submissions you submit, you submit 40 to the Privy Council, they must take one, the right to a fair trial. So on that basis, yes, that was quick for them to do it, because one they had to deal with. During the appeals process, you guys submitted 15 issues that you guys wanted the court to look at. So the judge has the right to argue and let him know, so here we go on. Those statements that you're making, we have to put it in the right context, because Privy Council get one little argument. Right? You understand me? I said, so them deal with that quick and fast. We got 15 arguments, one bag of file, one book. You understand me? I say, in comparison to one little docket with one issue, the right to a fair trial. So the judge has the right to really speak in relation to that. You get me?
Yeah, use the
Well, Imitate, let me reiterate this point, and it's for one to understand this. There is no burden on the prosecution, absolutely none. All of the burden right now is on the defense. All of it.
I don't agree with all. I don't agree with all, though.
No, there is absolute. All right. There is absolutely no burden on the prosecution side. This is why these men have already been convicted and spend a number of years in lockup already. Plus, they have appealed twice, and they did not upheld their appeal, right? So there's all the evidence. They have every single evidence to resentence them again, right?
But Skeptic,
The only burden.
you finish. Sorry.
The only burden is on the defense to convince the prosecution not to take them to a retrial and give them an option to walk or to get a plea deal. That's the only option on the table at this point.
No, just hold your thoughts, Miss Julia. Don't forget what I say. Big up Ocean Johnson, big up Ocean and Miss Julia and everyone on the chat channel. Big up yourself. Yeah, man, respect the general. Give thanks to super. Yeah, go to make your point.
Yeah, no, but a Skeptic, I hear what you're saying, But you see with this chess move now with the JS1 and JS2, it can actually turn. Okay. if the JS1, right, is not admitted in evidence, right, but the JS2 is still allowed, right, the prosecution definitely will benefit, okay, because without the JS1, there's going to be less scrutiny on the integrity and the authenticity of the evidence that then present the prosecution, right? So without the control copy being there and them being able to have a comparison, it make it easier for the prosecutor to basically establish, say, this is the truth, right? So it weakened the defense's challenge of it, right? So there's also going to, that means that them have limited ground for objections as well. And it also will simplify, it enhance them persuasion basically. Now, if the JS2 is not admitted though, if the defense win their argument and say, well, since the JS1 can be admitted, then we can't use the JS2 either, right? Then it turns it 180 and there's going to be weight on the prosecution because the JS2 is what they used to build the case when it come on to the evidence, right?
Right.
Right? Yes, but you see what I'm saying though, Skeptic?
Yeah, and that is basically based on whether or not they foster factor all of that into play. You understand me?
Yeah, I just want to say a quick thing though. To say that the burden of proof is absolutely on the defense.
That's incorrect.
Hold on there. There would be no need to be hearing arguments on both sides.
Yeah,
exactly.
no, I never said
That
that.
is the first thing first.
No,
The
I
burden
never
of
meant that.
proof.
I'm not
The
saying
burden
you,
of
Mr.
proof.
Julia.
Okay.
Skeptic
No,
was
I'm just
saying.
clarifying.
The
Sorry.
Skeptic was saying that.
Okay. I
The
just
burden of
clarifying that I
proof.
never said that.
Yeah, man, I
The
understand.
burden of proof is always on the state, always on the prosecution. The defense that no need to prove nothing. The prosecution always has
I
to
beg your
prove. Say,
pardon?
Hold on,
yeah,
guys.
brother, listen to what
Hold
I'm
on.
saying.
Let me say a thing. My general, don't follow him go over there, so man, with the absolute, man. Make we just leave the thing up.
Listen, what I'm saying is absolute. The burden of proof is always on
Yeah,
the
but in
prosecution.
this context, though,
Okay.
The burden of proof is always on the prosecution. I get that, but that's not what I'm saying to you. I'm saying to you, in this instance, within this 4-day period, the burden is on the defense to convince the prosecution and the government not to take them to a retrial.
No, but watch this now, Skeptic. That's why, 1 second, my general. That's why I say, you see, when I say absolutely, my pushback is this. The prosecution has to also prove to the court why it's in the interest of justice for them to proceed to a retrial as well. They have to prove that to the court, brother.
Exactly.
Yeah, they do.
And a part of their thing in proving this is, hey, we still have the witness there. This still good. That's still good. They have to do all of that. And if they don't, guess what happens? All right.
No,
I need to say nothing else.
No, imitate. What I will respond to you in saying that, yes, I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying to you, the evidence that have already been presented, they can just repeat it because it's already sufficient.
I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying, General, I don't disagree with the Skeptic. Is when you say that the burden of proof is absolutely on the defense.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The evidence is already sufficient, so they don't really have to present anything new to convince a retrial. That's what I'm saying.
All right, Skeptic, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Do you think anything on the prosecution side could have changed?
Anything on the prosecution side?
Yes. Like any information there, any witnesses, whatever. Do you think
more evidence for sure. Even one of the defense can actually flip as well and give evidence against the rest of the team.
Can anything change that could impact them negatively? Yes or no?
Impact the prosecution?
Yes.
No,
if the JS2 is not
impact
allowed,
the prosecution?
Yes, if the JS2 is not allowed and the evidence what them used to build the case is not allowed, that can affect them
You don't even have to be that. It could be as simple,
yeah, but you asked a question there, so I was just
Miss Julia, you have a point, right? But I'm saying not only that alone. You know, a lot of the policemen that were a part of these cases, some may have died, some may have gone to prison, some may have migrated. You know that, right? And don't want to have anything to do with it. You know that, right?
Yeah,
you have to consider all of these things.
There are a lot of
you
things.
can't just say, Ray. You get what I'm saying?
But I know, but the best thing to not get all of these mental acrobatics. It's just take it day by day
We good, man. We
and
good, man.
analyze
Hey,
and
Skeptic,
What
just do Skeptic for me, brother.
analyze the information.
big up K Young, you know, K Young say man, enjoy the read, you know. So bless
Yeah,
up K
man.
Young.
Hey,
Big up
it's
K
just
Young.
Hey, Skeptic that work for DPP, you know.
All right. So the thing is this, too, you know. The thing is this, you know, right? You
Yeah.
see, the prosecution, you know, the prosecution really have to prove to the court that a retrial is in the interest of the public.
Yeah.
And again, I'm gonna go to that Bahamas precedents where
Yeah.
the appeal court decided based on the argument, say, here we go on. It's not in the public's interest to have this retrial because
Right.
we're not gonna subject the public back to this. We're not gonna subject the victims to this again, nor even the defendants. So
Yeah.
that's why them threw out the case. So it is a very delicate situation. It's not
Very.
absolute on one end or absolute on the other. It is
Very.
a subjective matter where both parties have to justify for no retrial, throw it out, or yes retrial.
Right.
You understand
Right.
what I say? Them really
Right.
have to justify it. So it's not an absolute one way. The pendulum not really swing one way.
Hey,
Exactly.
Skeptic, you ever see guilty man walk at Skeptic?
And
That's a guilt.
and that chain of custody thing is listen, it's very, very important. It's not just about who it was handed to or whatever. That labeling thing is very, very important. That's the whole reason why I'm wondering if them should have throw it out or not, because it wasn't labeled properly. So if it wasn't labeled properly, right, them say that actually affect the chain of custody, because them say if there are gaps or inconsistencies basically in the documentation of it, of how it was handled and how it was stored, right, it raised doubts to the reliability of the data it contained, even if the data has not been blurred or distorted by the year that passed, right? So that the way how it was actually documented had a lot to do with how it was treated in the chain of custody, right? So that is an important thing. But anyhow, we have to wait and see, my dear.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So the reality is that some interesting arguments is being presented by the defense, and as me I say, you see the defense I say, should these men go back to a retrial, it might be a violation of their constitution, the right to a fair trial, because them are argue about the reasonable time factor, and that's a valid argument that we really have to look at. And where it really is a interesting conversation based on the time, the 10-year time span. The man can argue and say the right to a fair trial was infringed on because the time it took, the 10-year, that is justice delayed, justice
denied. That's right.
So that's a valid argument.
And they frame it from an angle where they must say, this null set look good for poor people, based on what I see in the newspaper, that same argument, and I say, whoa,
Yeah.
So some valid arguments were presented. Oh, I'm sorry. Go through them then. Yes.
No, all I was gonna say, a lot of time I've seen courts drop cases, right? Because they don't want to gain a Pyrrhic victory. You get what I say?
Yeah.
Them if we have to go lose so much to get a conviction out of this man, we done get one already and we can get him other ways, then why are we gonna waste our time? A regular court to them something there. You understand what I say? Just for save face, because the justice system get so this big highlight is all over the world now. Everybody are looking to our go on. So they have to be real careful with this one. You get what I say? They have to be real careful. Regardless if them have the evidence to convict him, man, if them can't get it right or do it right this time, it don't make any sense. You get what I mean?
When me there with this thing here, me now say there based on how me see them a run the court. Me now say a retrial not possible, but me won't surprise if him get off either.
Right. Either way, I'm not surprised.
Imitate. That was a good point, but I think that would have been considered when they did the last bidding at the Privy Council. If they think they would have considered that justice denied over that period of time, and I think that would have been a justifiable reason as well for them to actually set them free there and then. So I
All
don't
right.
think
So
that is going to be a consideration.
all right. So
Absolutely not.
my pushback to that is that this argument is only in the context of a retrial. Should there be a retrial? Remember when the Privy Council sent back the matter, they were not sending it back to determine, so all right, throw it out. You get what I'm saying? They are putting it in their hands. So at the end of the day,
Precisely.
yes, so they
I-
are arguing, say, if it's a retrial, in the context of a retrial, that would be justice delayed, justice denied. The Privy Council don't know what the decision is going to be. So they cannot rule in that context of justice delayed, justice denied.
I also want to add with the Privy Council, right? They presented a bunch of arguments to the Privy Council, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe one of the judges on the Privy Council, that sits on the Privy Council, had said, "Hey, we didn't even look at that stuff because we found this one thing already and this was wrong. So it's pointless to even look at that other stuff. Let them go ahead, send this back to the court and let them figure it out." I think that's what he cited.
And that's the reason why even the JS1 thing there, I'm not too hung up on it because it was not admitted.
Exactly. Privy Council never even reached this. So they
No.
do one bad thing and say drop it.
Appeals
No.
not look on it, Privy Council not look on it. So we have to just watch and see how that one.
No, the Privy Council was their only hope. Okay, the Privy Council was their only hope to actually get an acquittal or to get the case thrown out or a mistrial or whatever. Being that that did not happen, they have to go back to the very same court who denied their appeal. So I think on that basis, it's definitely heading for retrial.
All right,
Hey, Skeptic, real quick. How would you name Skeptic? Seriously. Me need to know how you name Skeptic. I never hear you agree with nothing with this here. You always have to come with something, brother.
No. But the thing about that, the thing about that though is that you see, remember, the appeal court, based on the Privy Council ruling, the appeal court have to take notes that the Privy Council rule against them as well. We can't go around that. You understand what I say? The Privy Council ruling is in contradiction to the appeals court ruling.
No, I don't think they view it that way, Matet. I don't think they view it that way. I think they have accepted that yes, the juror they should have restarted the trial based on the juror issue, right? And they just give them a chance to say correct that mistake and that mistake only. That's the only thing that they're ruling, that particular mistake.
No, it's not. No, that's the reason why the Privy Council sent it back for our court to decide if
to correct that mistake. To correct that particular mistake. Because it was the only mistake that was cited.
So what I'm skeptic, sir, if it's as simple as you say, with just that mistake, would it warrant the fact that if I go to where them can actually be free from just that mistake then?
No, they can't be free from that mistake because that decision would have been made by the Privy Council because they have the power. They have the power to set them free there and then.
I said them send it back and say the court, the local court to make a decision whether them are go retrial or throw it out. Then never just say, yo, here we go on. This and that and just go start back on a sentence.
Right. So my point is
that's how you frame it,
Yeah, based on your logic, we say I just that one jury thing there, them send it back for fix. Then there would be no hearing that can say, make the man them go on with them and go and throw out everything or go to a retrial. So
no, they send it back to the court they send it back to the very court that denied their appeal and the very same court that convicted them.
It don't matter where them send it. And when I say it can't go retrial or me just I say based on how you frame it, you make it seems as if there is no options, and based on whether them not send it back that way. It can go in a way where them actually want, bro.
Right, it's not a one-way thing, and that's why the appeal court made it clear that this 5-day hearing will determine if the matter is thrown out or if there's a retrial. It's not a one-way street.
The The only let me tell you the various different options. Yes, the length in time when these men have been incarcerated. You have loss of witness. Certain witnesses not is not going to be found. Stuff like that. But I think potentially what may happen is a flipping of one of the defense may flip, and that might come into their favor.
Yeah,
So
but
this thing can play in various different ways, but I think the most uphill battle is going to be, all right, let's say one of the defense doesn't flip. The difficulty that the prosecution is going to have is it the witnesses that previously testified when they were convicted. I think that is going to be the potential issue.
right.
And so if they don't have a flip, and if they don't have the witnesses and certain stuff to really pull back a strong team together, they might consider giving them an option for a deal. They might struck a deal in that regard. I think that's the only option.
No deal now struck right now as we speak. Man, when me I say and the flip argument that me just hope say I don't know YouTube man, you see I chat the nonsense then because me see people a chat that nonsense, but say man.
Why you always do that, Timothy? Like people don't have brain to think, my friend.
Hold on, Skeptic. Hold on. I am saying.
Don't do that, man.
All right, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. I'm just saying, right? Me hear one little video. I go around the place where them say one of the man them say them are gonna flip. You get what me I say, Rick? And everybody run with it. And
no. I'm looking at. Listen, remember my opinion. I've been having. This is opinion that I've been having from the get go. And if you notice, everything that I've said thus far has transpired. I'm not trying to seems like I know it all. I don't know. I'm just assessing the case based on how I see it.
Yeah, man,
I don't have. I don't.
First, what I'm Skeptic, man. The first me you say flip, man. Man, I go flip, man. At the first.
No.
No, I'm just saying the first me I hear you about man, I go flip.
So
because if the man them go through so much from Tala time, why at the end of the crossroad, right? You know, a man would decide say, yo, he might go flip.
Skeptic. So Skeptic, since I bring up the argument about flip, let me just go down the rabbit hole with you. Who are gonna flip?
I don't know. It could be any. It could be any of the three.
Well, all right. As me I say, still I just. As me as a Skeptic, I saw where that was a conversation, must say last week and whatever, and this only proves, people just throw some little red herring out them more time. Not saying, you Skeptic and tell them. I said there was a little conversation about that. A man have voice recordings where man said them I go flip and one bag of food.
No, but Immatel, look at it. No, Immatel, look at it practically. Look at it practically. If you look at it, I think one of them has about 2 years left. I think another one of them maybe have 6 years or so left.
It don't make no sense. They flip,
right?
Why them not flip though?
You know, make no sense. They flip.
Because potentially, if the case go to a retrial, I don't think they're going to give. I think potentially they're going to give them more than 2 years. You never know.
All right, so what's his story?
Okay,
what's his story? One second, Miss Julia.
Okay.
1 second. Somebody in the chat say, Siva, I go flip. Rick, correct me. No, what on Rick? No. 1 year, then did a half time or something like that.
And he no flip.
And he no flip, and then about 13, 14 years now. So me just want to point that out still. Go to Miss Julia.
yeah.
Let me say one thing. Let me say one thing real quick. Hey, Skeptic, we need to look on this. You know, the system actually, if you really look on it, you know, the system actually window. Them get some time out of them. You see time are the most expensive thing. You see just the time where them serve already, brother. Only them lose, you know. You have to consider them thing there, you know.
No system wins. Nobody won in this because even though you said the system win, we still have to pay for it, and we are the one who keep the system running with our tax dollars.
We have to pay for it.
and there's a lot of also social problems with every inmate that is locked up in there that affects the rest of the community.
I'm
So
all for
nobody
that argument. I'm all for that
No,
argument.
Miss
But what
Julia,
I'm saying is, if we're gonna be
the
vindictive, or for the
prosecution went.
no,
The
but you I
prosecution
see what you're
won.
saying. Yeah, but
Yeah.
okay, so listen. Let me go back to the conversation what Skeptic was having. So admittedly, that I thought that way too until I spoke to my friend Skeptic, because because me and her were talking, and I said to her, but listen, the Privy Council basically were looking at his human rights there, and they never said that for him to be retried is a breach of his will be a further breach of his human rights, so they should just let him go. They never said that. What they said was, okay, you did breach his human rights. We're going to hand it back to you to decide if he should be retried or if he should walk. So the fact that they have retrial as a possibility, right, or as a possibility for them to choose, means that in technically a retrial clearly would not be a breach of his of his rights, right? Right. And then I said, because if it's a matter of of him being retried, but she said no, they probably didn't consider the time that it took for them to get to the appeal court. And she said, but even if they can still argue against it. So I said to her, I say, so what a lengthy appeal process have to do with basically breaching his rights, basically, right? That. So she explained to me the right to timely justice. I understood that, right? But she said, prolonged delays, it basically make it that them cases not tried properly. Reason being, just like the same thing with the S1 and the S2. She said evidence can become stale, right? Witnesses become unavailable, right? She said memories fade over time. You must say she's a defense lawyer, right? So she said that make it difficult, right, to present an effective defense. So with that, she said even if it was supposed to work in his favor, right? The fact that it's fuzzy means that it's not a fair trial, right? Fair trial don't only have to mean say it work opposite of his favor. Opposite of a fair trial could also mean that it overextends in his favor as well, right? So fair trial is the crux of it. It needs to be 50% equal fair, right? Then now she also said the impact on the defendants as well. Because she said to me, Julia, the financial strain, that's why them throw it out there. Because that is actually a factor. She said the emotional stress, right? And they should have tied that in. She said they should have tied that into the doctor's thing, right? To basically say that his sickness was exacerbated because of the emotional stress as well, right? And that is also from them prolonged uncertainty about them legal status, right? So she said all of these things, right, actually affect it have psychological impacts on the defendant. You understand what I'm saying? So she said, and that also can color the minds of any future juror as well. So she said that, you know what, it is a good argument to make that the lengthy appeal process, spanning over a decade, can be considered a breach of them rights, right? And she said that if she was the prosecutor, she said that she would expect that argument from them. But she said to me that my argument makes sense, that if it was clear that his rights would be breached again, that the appellate court, the Privy Council, would have basically say, throw it out, you can't even retry him, right? She said that. But she said we do not know if them took that into consideration when it was coming, and the fact that they threw it back to us means that we are supposed to decide. That's what her argument is. So
Yeah,
Miss Julia.
Hold on, Skeptic, before you respond.
Yeah.
Big up Ochi and Johnson for the membership, Respect for super chat, Emotep. Emotep say I appreciate the reasoning, the great reasoning with different perspectives. That's it. Give thanks to General. Yeah, man. Go to
Skeptic, you see what I mean now?
Yeah, well, I understand your talking point, but I personally think this is a win for the prosecution. This was already, like I've always mentioned, they knew where they were going with this, because they did not want to hang juror, right? And they did not want a mistrial, right? That's why I tell you, that interview that Paula did with Cliff Hughes when he specifically asked her why didn't they restart the trial when they suspected the corrupt juror. She
After
said
67
64.
days.
Yeah, so
After
she
67
clearly,
days.
they
Yeah.
clearly did not planned on restarting have a hung jury. They wanted to move forward so that they can head for prosecution, which happened, and they knew this day would have come. So they knew once they appeal, they went to Privy Council. Naturally, they knew that they were going to be at this point. So they're playing, the defense team is playing chess, and they're playing chess as well. Everybody have to fight for their freedom, and it doesn't matter what. There is no evidence though to prove that the defense team is the one that corrupt the juror. That's the only thing. There's no evidence,
No, there's
and
no
that is
evidence.
why, it was qualified to get to the Privy Council. If there was evidence, they would not gain any rights to the Privy Council.
Well, you don't know that though, because there's more than one person on defense. So I mean, you don't know that, because even if one party, it was proof that one party paid for it, right? On the
No, what I'm
defense.
saying, if they could tie the to the defense, right?
But Skeptic,
If
that
they
still wouldn't make no. But Skeptic, the reason why that wouldn't make sense, right, is because there were more than one defendants, right? So what that means
no,
is, well, hold on, no, let me finish. That means, say, if me and Rick upon trial, and Rick go pay off the paid him off, and I didn't know about it. Guess what? He screwed up my right to a fair trial too. He really did. Not only did he screw up his own, but he screwed up mine, because I never know about it. You understand what
yeah,
I'm saying?
it's one for all and all for one. Anything affect one affect the other. So
That's not true.
if
That is not true.
yeah, oh
That's
yeah,
not true. That's not true, because it's not.
yeah,
No,
it's
hold
one
on.
trial.
Skeptic. If that was true, they would not brought up the sickness, because that only affects Mr. Kartel, right?
No, it's one trial. It's the same trial. It's one trial. Anything,
I understand, but
anything affect one affect the other. If they rule on, if they take into account, same as how they're taking into account the social media influence, and they reject, so it's going to be for everybody, the social media influence.
yeah,
Same as how they rejected Vybz Kartel sickness. If they have accepted it, it would have benefit all
Skeptic. Yeah, Skeptic.
everyone.
You keep on saying that though. You keep on saying
You
that.
keep
What is
saying that
now?
is
They
yeah.
rejected the son's submission.
The sons,
So
yes.
at the end of the day, we don't know what will be presented.
You don't know.
About the medical report or whatever, because there is a copy of it submitted to the appeal court. So we are say we're not gonna say because them reject the son's argument is a rejection of the medical report.
Right.
Wait and see.
Yeah. That is a wait and see. I agree with you, Imitate.
I understand that they have this. Listen, I understand it's one defense. I get that, right? But if they found, say, and this is hypothetical, if your case is right, and them find, say, Kartel pay off whatever, he and Sean Storm never know about it, and the rest of them never know about it. He affect them rights having a fair trial as well. So there's no fair trial. So it doesn't matter if it work in them favor or not. That's the point, right? It have to be a fair trial, not for heavily and not against heavily. No thumb on either side of the scale. That's what it means.
Yeah. But let's see. It's a wait and see, and I
now we are saying we process of the whole thing at this moment. So know, me personally, not the panel, yes, me just go and cruise and watch.
You just
like,
easy.
first thing means that man, me not like disappointment, So that man, me does like exercise patience, cause I go jump and say, boy, this and that, I go up more that, next thing, say judge I know, All I'm like Skeptic. If it go opposite way, my predicting no say all him go hide, because
Well, so far I haven't been wrong yet. So let's see.
but at the end of the day, we still left on the
I
battle.
don't know about that one.
Anyways, that's up for debate still.
I don't know about that one, Skeptic.
But me I say, we still left on the battlefield. I watch what I go and say, like it over. You know,
Yeah.
so you can absolute. Even if you never wrong before, you know, we still in process of the whole proceeding. So we don't think that alone hold enough weight for say, boy, we can predict say you go right in or whatever thing you put forward. You know, but a couple of days we determine if you're wrong or you're right still. So we have a patience with us one watch what go on. Say
Yeah.
Well, which one of you want to bet 100 retrial?
No man, I'm skeptic. Take off the cap no man. Me no want to say Justice League, you know, man, but take out the cap then, no, man.
No, it's just my opinion. It has have nothing to do with Justice League.
No,
I just see the setup.
Okay, Skeptic, explain to me, like, how are you so sure? Because I can see the arguments for and I can see the arguments against. So I'm like in the middle. Tell me what swing the pendulum for you?
Because based on the interview with Paula, and she clearly did not want to restart the trial back then. So they wanted to convict these men. They did not want to hang jury back then. So these men actually tried to appeal their case in the Jamaica court. They did not grant them that appeal. And so they had to go to the Privy Council by way of the juror because there's no evidence that they are the one who actually corrupted the juror. On that basis, when they bring it back to the Jamaica court system, they are going to actually move forward again and to make sure that they close all the gap, right? And they close all the loophole. So I think that on that setup, it looks to me like it's definitely a retrial.
Right now, the best argument me see so far, and as me I say, me not jump the gun as Rick say, me just walk with it step by step because I defense alone need something from. The defense I said 10 years for the appeal is justice denied. And by such that's a breach of the right to a fair trial.
That was her argument.
That's a strong argument presented so far.
Yes.
And me just go wait and see how this thing play out. I mean, no rush. As we Queen Friday come, me no in a no rush. Me not have no assumption in this thing. Right? Me I wait and see. I have nothing to say as to the outcome. Me just walk with this thing until Friday.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
And
my only pushback on that, Timotet, is that decision would have been made by the Privy Council, not the Jamaica court.
No, but Skeptic, remember I just told you, what the defense lawyer in Jamaica said. What she said to her argument for that, right? She understands what you are saying, right? But she make an argument against that. She said that of course they're going to argue against it, and they have reason to do it. You understand? So
yeah.
Right? Because what her argument is if his rights were what they were arguing in that Privy Council was if his rights were breached in that certain situation, because they didn't even look at anything else, right? They said this was enough. So that is the most my argument to her was, but if it would be a further breach against his rights to have him retried, they would have just make him walk. She said possibly, but just the fact that they argue for it now for the retrial, they're arguing for it now for the retrial, they're going to push that concern, and they should. She said she don't see any prosecutor worth themselves not pushing that argument. So Imhotep is right. Both of you guys are right. Both of you guys.
Well, Ricky Tan there, and I'm we hear where Ricky Tan say go to Ricky Tan. Close up.
Bless up in everybody.
Yeah,
bless
man.
up.
Big
Bless
up
up.
Ricky Tan.
Yeah, man. I don't know me there when it come on to this case already, from a get go. I don't know some say no retrial. I keep on a stress on the fuck off. One case when me know of. One mistake the judge make, and the man walk free. with a witness, when him even try for dirt, when he turn up in a court against him, and that man walk free because of one error by the judge, one mistake, and that
So
man
you
walk
feel
free.
like that can happen in a this? Yes.
In a this a case, he pass even one mistake right now. At he gone past that because it amount of time with them and money I take before them get before I think about retrial after 13 years. Right now that pass the mark. So a more than breaches this. This a past breaches. When I really think about it, this a retrial impossible. And if people not see it for a long time, it is impossible. And it's mere facts that they must stress the point saying how you expect a poor man in a Jamaica where don't have it to go through this same thing. If you are gonna make this be the standard, then where una go say okay a man can get a retrial. You think this would have record for a man that don't have a dollar? So the judge have to think about that hard, real hard. Them a go sleep on it every night and say, you know, say this year gonna be really unjust, so we really take off ourselves, but we are gonna retrial. Brother, impossible. This impossible for a retrial. This a case I done long time, you know. I just jag you out to make them stay in a jail little longer. Them know what them a do. Them know them can't hard a retrial.
But you know what? The way how Ricky Tan just said it, because it basically say a viewpoint that people were saying today, but the intensity with how him just say it actually disprove what you're saying, Skeptic. It actually prove what Imhotep said, because when it comes to regarding the prosecution's burden, because basically the way how Rickerton explain it, it shows say the prosecution will have to demonstrate that a retrial can be conducted without any kind of infringing on Cartel's rights at all, right? So basically him have to prove, say him have to justify the necessity and basically the feasibility of a retrial. That is a big burden. You understand what I'm saying? Just from listening to how Rickerton frame it, which is a different frame, but it's the same, it's right information, right?
No, he's for it, and that's fine. He's fair
Right.
to submit whatever argument to
No, I know,
why he
but what
thinks.
he said though is not like as if it was foolish, right? Like it shows that there is burden on shoulders, right? Because them have to show
Yeah.
say, listen, we can have a
No.
retrial. We can have a retrial without infringing upon the appellant's rights, right?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I will never brand anybody argument as foolish because
yeah,
none of us know how this thing is going to play out. We only can assume. You
right,
understand
right.
me?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
we cannot brand anybody argument as foolish. We
yeah,
don't know, but none of us know how this is going to play out. Right?
yeah.
But based on my hypothesis is, it seemed like Rickerton is the one who wants to bet me the $100. So let's go.
You have to say about that. Ricky.
It's about it.
Skeptic, we say you want bet $100.
Ricky,
Say no
Yes.
retrial.
more upon it.
Retrial. $100 retrial.
Okay,
Let's go.
$100
Come on.
Skeptic. No retrial. No man, me I take a bet, man. Me I take a bet.
Let's
No
okay.
retrial.
All right. Seal. Deal.
Yeah,
The whole panel there, Rickstorm there, everybody there, you know. So
foolishness, when I have to go pay it.
no,
Anyone
no man is a solid bet, man.
all right.
All
But that's
right,
why I
Yeah,
said
a solid bet, man.
10:57. Tuesday.
360. Well on it. 368. No, Miss Perfect. Which are them offering to them man I live, man. It's Jamaican dollars.
No man, our US dollars we are talking about, man.
Which perfect one by the bag juice.
Well on, Miss Julia. At 300 odd people they are listening. So, them can't go around the thing on the day
Them
when
can't go around it, Rick. 10:58.
All right.
We
Tuesday.
can't go round it, man. The bet
What
a
date
bet,
is
man.
it today?
We bet, man.
Today what?
That's Skeptic. So
June 1.
so
June 10?
Skeptic,
11?
June 11.
June 11. 10:58.
yeah.
There's a bet
And
between Rickerton and Skeptic.
yeah. My thing is, me a lot of people said them are gonna have the verdict on the on the 5th day or something like that. Me not think so. I think them are go take them just go listen the prosecution case for the last 2 days and go think that they take
Yeah,
it into consideration.
but me hear the judge that say this can't pass Friday. So should I mean like the arguments them and then them would have make like the overall deliberation for the next day then.
Yeah, that yeah.
Okay.
So me think they give the defense 3 days.
The first argument for the morning was no man no out here about a linga and no bag of chatting and no make no points because we not pass Friday with this thing and we don't want to hear say this and that. So just make no points. That was what the judge said.
You're right. Yeah. But Rick, my promise myself to make a jump off at 11. So on a big up on yourself.
Yeah.
Big up
all the best, Miss Julia.
All right, Skeptic and Ricky.
I'll share my winnings with you.
All right, no problem. I will refuse no
You see.
And Ricky Tan, I will share yours
see,
too.
Yeah, man, me share it with you, Miss Juliet. No problem. You know it go. Thing there, no.
What are Ricky Tan? Skeptic. Remember say we not talk about no galactic federation currency there, you know.
Man, you know you're right with you, next week we hear say boy, no, we didn't specify the currency.
And in the done declare say he's a member of the Galactic Federation. So
exactly.
All right. So we just want to make sure.
No, Skeptic. No, but I we work with the US government currency. Yeah.
But
man.
I can't take myself and out too, I think, the day after tomorrow, with the back, but I go forward a bit. I forward earlier still because I have more time. So I will come normal. And by then time, the things supposed to have boiled down. So we may have a whole lot of stuff to talk about, in that time.
No,
period.
man,
So,
tomorrow you have enough things if you have go live to talk, but tomorrow I got hot in a coat, Tomorrow I got be one fire ready, You see all them things that you hear me telling about the man them we get let off, all of them the something that will come up, Tomorrow I go hear all of them the case, So just listen out for the case and what did pass, what happened, na them and all and something.
I think tomorrow I gonna be more like where the liar they might put forward,
Right.
Because more a lot of it is like, where this man and that man are saying already. But based on when me hear the liar guy I say, them plan to say this and say that and really. So you're right, Ricky, and it's supposed to be interesting tomorrow. But probably
tomorrow I fire already.
Like the day, but we pass through and Rick. I might go live officially tomorrow still. So I don't know, but in idea, we probably do like a little hour or so. Just we stay updated and stay on top of things.
Yeah, man. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Everybody research.
Yeah, man. Bless you.
Take care. Yeah, man. One love.
All right. Bye.
All right, Rick. Bless up.
Yeah, man. Well, my closing argument, Rick. Tomorrow, I am looking forward to hearing the defense. Mention that Bahamas precedents, because that is key as well, That is key as well, because that would definitely tie into, tick all the box with the Privy Council appeal, winning the appeal, the matter remitted back to the appeal court. Appeal court say, we throw it out because we can't submit the public to all of this again. So, I look forward to hear them say that. Valid arguments were presented today as it relates to the time it took for the appeal process. You get what I say? So, we there watch what go on, man. So, man, as I respect, let me say this real quick and fast. Big up to Anthony Clark. Yeah, I actually didn't see your comment, but remember, say, I Rick live, me general. So, more time, I just reason. Anytime I Rick live, I just reason, I'm there to pre the chat more time, respectfully. But as I respect, see me. Big up yourself, Rick. Anyway, think go.
Yeah, man, but big up on yourself, my people. I don't know. Nice reasoning still. See what I say? Yeah, man. Big up yourself in a scatter. We are dealing with. Bless up J Brown. Watch, look, and listen. As I think go more while watch, look, and listen. A weekday, so more while the things set away. More while they have stuff we do here and there and whatever. So, we just make it thing. See, what go on is perfectly imperfect. Bless up yourself, you know, my sister. We all deal with Reading Palace. Yeah, man. Atto grato. Yeah, man. Atto grato, I say like and share all night, you know. Manners and respect in general. But people, as I said, tomorrow is another day upon it, you know. That's it. So we see what go on and hear what go on. You know, and in my view, as me say, I think it run fear in terms of like how the judge are deal with it still. You know, I not see no form of bias are going currently, you know. All of the reasoning and all of the determination look fair to me. And me think say them basically want to, you know, make a good impression of the Jamaican court. So I don't think them are going to keep up no form of folly, you know. So I think whatever decision is being made at the end of this thing, I go, you know, I want me probably look upon it and say, all right, this was a fair decision still, you know. But big up on yourself. Yeah, invest. Yeah, man, you know, we're there, man. So, you know, we probably, because we don't hear your perspective on things from with you, but we know what the thing go, you see it. So, you know, probably tomorrow, or, you know, the other day. But we're there still. But people, big up on yourself. Make sure you leave a like before you exit and subscribe if you don't subscribe it. You see it. Yeah, man. Catching up on another one. Clifford, big up yourself, my general. Yeah, man. I'm out.